Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. All right, I'm joined by the 20-time champion, the 2-time world champion, a legend to the Call of Duty scene, Patrick Price, aka Aches, and I'm joined by another multi-champion, another world champion, another legend staple to the Call of Duty scene. Give it up for Chris Duarte, Parasite. What's going on, gentlemen? How we feeling today, man? We feeling good or what?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We feeling good.
Yeah, man.
Dude, Tom. I know some players watch the flank, but I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking like, bro, some very common, basic, simple concepts are going in one ear and out the other, bro.
Mm-hmm. Well, you think
on my nerves.
You think. Well, some teams have been listening though too, Pat. I feel like some teams.
No, for sure.
There's also been some positives too to take away from the day.
But listen, bro, how are teams getting their best two maps in series? It should be impossible, literally impossible, but it keeps happening, bro. I don't know. I'm literally
people ego challenge.
They're ego challenge. They're ego challenge, brother.
Yeah, and they're getting fucking put down.
Listen, I'm gonna get right into it. Hey, we had 4 matches today, so we're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna hop right in and get right into this shit. We got the London Royal Ravens going up against the Florida Mutineers. We got a Tuscan Hardpoint, Boat Cage S&D, Tuscan Control, Berlin Hardpoint, Tuscan S&D to kick things off.
Yo, my fried, does this look like the same series?
Bro, it is. They got their best.
I swear to God, I saw this shit yesterday.
The same shit, man. It's the same shit.
Bro, I can't believe it. I truly, listen, let's start simple, okay? Like, so Florida vetoes Gavitu, okay?
They had 20 points after the first rotation, by the way, in his first hardpoint. I'm just going to start off. Florida did.
Yeah. But Florida vetoes Gavitu.
Right.
That's a map they're positive on. They're 6-4 on it. And they did it to play a map they're 2-6 on for Berlin. Help me understand why. Like,
I don't know.
It's not like London's good at it. They're okay. 50% win rate. They're all right.
I don't know what to tell you, Pat. I don't know what's going into the thought process of some of these vetoes. Clearly they must have a different way of thinking, Pat. To you, they're not.
I guess they just like seeing their fucking players drop 0.2s because that's what happened, man.
Yeah.
Literally, I saw a 0.2 reel out there. No bullshit.
They got absolutely fucking worked on in his first map, man. They got fucking pooped on. This one wasn't even close. After the first set of rotations, the fucking Florida didn't even have 20 points, so it just wasn't looking good from the get-go for these guys. It just seemed like London was just outslanting them. Gizmo ended up was 20-6 at one point in this map. I mean, they were just running all over them. It just seemed like the aggression was too much. I still think Florida's they don't have those 2 sub players up top who are making plays. I like Big Wake. I just don't think he's a sub player mindset type of guy. I think he's more of like a roam kind of kill horde type of guy, which is fine. I don't mind having a kill horde on the team, especially somebody like Wake who's talented as fuck.
But you do it with the fucking gun that does everything.
Yeah, right.
Automaton,
Wake
son.
should be. I don't know how many times we gotta say this shit, but Wake should be the one just doing whatever. AR, fucking sub, just let him do whatever the fuck he wants. Get your kills, fucking kill horde. Do what you gotta do. Put Skies on the main where he should be. Skies has always been a main AR. He was always that type of player. You get him on the main, and then you should have another sub up top, which should have been probably Vivid. Compliment Vivid with another sub, but they end up getting rid of Vivid. But 2Real right now is getting put in the Vivid cycle. He's getting put in the same shit that happened to Vivid. He's just...
This might go down as the worst roster change that I've seen so far in a CDL.
Man, you think so? The worst of all time?
And it's crazy because I like the Major Maniac pickup. That's how crazy this change was. Like, I like Major Maniac. That pickup for him for Dave, I don't mind it. I can get behind that. But the other one, horrible, bro. Because they were like, dude, in my opinion, they had like that upset potential. And granted, they still can qualify, but like, I don't think there's no shot at this point for me that Florida make it, especially going into a land environment, looking the way they do with 2Real. I just don't see it happening, bro.
Yeah, bro. We said this 100 times. Florida. We used that as a meme, like to an extent. We were like, Florida's got hella ARs. They got to play AR maps. I mean, now more than ever, they got to play the AR maps. They don't even got a sub play. Like they got a sub player, but no offense,
bro.
Like
they vetoed Gav, Chris.
He's mediocre. He's mediocre.
They vetoed the AR map.
He's mediocre in comparison to 2Real. Listen, we don't know their scrims. It could be going bad, but like in terms of like Gavutu, but regardless, just looking at it on paper, like what are you doing, baby? Like you got you gotta start playing.
What do you mean we don't know their scrims? Chris, look at their matches. They're getting 100-point clubbed.
Hey man, well hold on. Listen, according to every CDL team in scrims, they are literally the Don Juans, bro.
I don't understand that. Like these guys are just next level in practice, and they get to a game and they just can't close anything out. I'm not saying
that, but regardless, like London look fucking really good right now. Nasty's hitting a level we have not seen at all.
Yeah, London
even
is
before when London was pretty good, we knew Trey was frying. We had Jay Gizmo at times online frying prior to his where he left, and then we had Afro, obviously best player on the team at the time. But Nasty's hitting a whole new level this stage.
Yeah, he looks
this guy's
good,
really
man.
playing. He's really good.
The whole team, honestly, I just feel like it's clicking. Bro,
yeah.
I honestly feel like Gizmo is like just that X factor for London. He was just that guy that just brought the energy, brings the pace, and he just does like the little things. I mean, he's always taking routes, he's always filling in gaps, and he has that pop off potential too to have like really good maps.
On top of that though, Tom, Trey, when Gizmo left, Trey was not playing that like crazy statistically, but when Gizmo
makes
was
everybody
on the
around
team,
him better. Yeah.
When Gizmo was on the team, Trey was looking like one of the best ARs in the league, and now he's back and he's playing really good. I mean, yeah, I'm
them having too many ARs definitely hurt Trey. Like
in general, Trey's really just been playing really good, like way better than he did without Giz on the team.
Yeah, I mean that's why you need a good team composition because people are gonna hurt from it. Like some players on a team are just not gonna perform how they should be. They're not gonna hit their ceiling if things aren't going right within the roster. If you don't have the right play styles around you, if you don't have the right roles, it's just gonna hit this fucking hay. Especially when you're playing a top team. But anyway, London was able to clutch up. First map was an absolute bloodbath. So London, they just came out, took care of business, smoked them. Gizmo 27-14 at the end of it. But then we get into the boat cage S&D. This one goes all the way down to a round 11. This one hits the fucking, goes all the way down to the wire. There was a few individual plays I wanted to pull up and kind of show everybody. But other than that, Florida, they're hanging in S&D, but they weren't able to close this one out today, boys. They weren't able to close it out. And I definitely think this second map hurt them, man. If they were able to close out the second map, well, then maybe some confidence, maybe some momentum. They would have been able to carry it away, but after this map, it was chalked. It was fucking
any
chalked.
team with Major Maniac is going to be good at S&D. I'm sorry. That guy literally, like, is every team he's been on, like, he was on Rocker for a long time, but, like, he's always been known as a really good S&D player. Like, I don't really, it's no surprise that Florida got better S&D. That's why, Pat says, bro, I like the pickup. I'm like the pickup too. It literally improved their weak point and upgraded in terms of the role they currently already had. It made sense. Good pickup, but I don't know, man. It's just I think they're doing this man a disservice because I feel like he should definitely be in a better position than he is right now. I think the whole thing, Skies and Awakening too, like the whole team, realistically, I don't know. They just made stupid decisions.
This was an interesting round from London. They let the bomb in the spawn. And then eventually they went back for it, but they didn't even try and work a plan here. I don't know what their plan was. They kind of just sat back and did nothing for the whole round. And then eventually it was just too late. They end up don't even getting the bomb down. They don't even try and get the bomb down. They're just like, they just chalk this shit up. So really weird round from London. A little bit of an unusual round. You don't really see teams just kind of leaving the bomb in the spawn all around. So interesting plays coming out of the London boys. So Florida was able to catch a little bit of a lead, but then we end up getting tied up at 3. And then no corner checks here from London. Granted, they were able to close this map out. But just little things like this, right? Like Big Wig probably shouldn't be able to get a 2-piece there. Really big plays from him, especially with an automaton up close. I did not expect London to get pieced up like that. So London, they're going to have to start checking some corners. Big plays coming in from Mike and Skies to clutch up this round. So Florida, they're able to go up 4-3 here. Then after this, man, London, they fucking run at them. London be getting mad aggressive for no reason sometimes, man, but it works because they just be shitting on fools, especially Nasty. Chris, you mentioned Nasty. This guy's been looking good. Look at this ego chow, by the way, from Nasty right here. One shot, just gonna jump around the corner and just, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes they go dumb rogue.
Well, yeah. I mean, do you remember from like one of Gizmo's like really early interviews where he was just talking about like they feel they have the best gun skill in the league, like the most confidence by far?
They're fucking super confident. That's for sure.
I think that's something that stayed true this whole time.
Yeah, and then speaking of 2-Real, he was actually able to make a really good play here in this 4-5 round. The pushes to around 11. He was the one that kind of kept them alive. You can see Florida, they spread the map and they're gonna work over towards this B site. Major's going to find a first blood. As that happens, Two Real's already get this bomb down, so he's going to kind of be stuck in a bomb. But look at this. Nasty Narrow Afro found a couple kills. Everybody dies except for Two Real. He's the last one on site. He's able to find a two-piece and get the fuck out of there. So really good plays from Two Real. He ends up just taking a long route. And Afro, he can't find him. Two Real plays the clock. And just like that, Two Real able to clutch the 1v3, 1v2, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Really big plays coming out of him to push to round 11. But getting into the round 11, this is where I want to get some of you guys' opinions. I'm not really too sure what the fuck Florida was doing in this round. I didn't like what first Two Real goes up for the plant. Nobody's even looking over him. He goes up for the plant here by himself. You have one guy down low on the stairs. You have Skies who's trying to get an angle on the back tank. But to be honest with you, I mean, nobody's holding his close stairs. Nobody's holding his close door. They didn't get any control here. Do you guys like the play from Florida here?
Hold on. How's this round even play out?
So Afro kills Two Real. Afro kills Two Real off the bomb here. He's by himself.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody from Florida is just kind of sitting here. They're just.
And well, if anything, that's just Two Real should have definitely checked that little sandbag corner. It's kind of a weird spot, but he would probably, if he would have checked that corner, he gets a free kill because Afro's literally just sitting there. Instead, he just goes up to the bomb and dies. Like, it's not the worst play if he goes up there. It's just it's a risky play, but like that kills. Like bro, check the damn corner.
Yeah, you gotta check the corner before you get it down.
He wasn't even in the room. He was literally on the sandbag and like right in the open, and he would have had a free kill.
And then they just get broken down one by one. I mean, one by one they just go down. Mike is all by himself, and London just kind of picks him apart. Just no trades, no decisiveness. It felt like Two Real was going while the rest of them were chilling, and then when Two Real he didn't even check the corner. Just a lot of little things, man, that just cost him.
That's not hindsight. Somebody in the chat said that's hindsight. No, you check the corner.
That's the only corner you have to check.
Yeah, you check the corner. If the door is closed, you check the corner, and then you go for the play and hope. Like that's like the play you were making. Granted, it was a shit play, and you're hoping that the guy gets the bomb down when nobody's watching over him. Mm-hmm. Like the only corner that is in your sideline that you can check as the bomb carrier is the one in the sandbag. You check it, and then you plant. If no one's there, you pray. But he didn't even check it. He just died.
He just died.
That's not hindsight. That's just literally negligence.
There's only a few things you got to check there. Not really much to check.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Pat.
That's what I'm saying. You just do it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I got some round 11 stats for y'all. So Mutineers are 2-7 in their round 11s. They're the worst team in the league when it comes to round 11. So anytime it's going there, I wouldn't have much faith in them if I'm a betting man. And then opposite on the opposite side, the Ravens, they are now 4-2 in round 11s, winning their last 3 in a row. So they've iced up in the last 3 S&Ds in a row. So that's kind of, you were kind of talking, Tom, about like you'd like to see Florida win this series. Like, yeah, it could have been a different series if that was possible, but they're just icing up.
Icing up, man. And then we get into the control. Everybody loves control, huh? It's so pretty exciting shit. All defensive wins in a Tuscan control here. It was all defensive till we get to the very last round, which is an overtime. And Florida were just able to make plays and honestly just win this offense. I'm not really too sure how they were able to do it. London was getting close a couple times. It just felt like, again, they weren't working stacks. There was one play that I actually want to show you guys that Chance was talking about in the beginning of this map, where he thought maybe London should have been stacking. It was the first round towards the end. But he thought this was a time where London shouldn't have stacked. And I want to get your guys' opinion on it. So right here, because... Hello? What up? Oh, Mr. Trey Boy, you're here. Hello. Hey, what's up, Trey? Hey, thank you for joining up, man. I didn't think you were coming on.
No. I went in the drag part. I was just watching the first few maps,
shit. Hey,
just
Trey.
waiting for my credit.
First of all, thank you for coming on. Second of all, it's actually a good thing you came in here because I was actually just about to break down a play on control, and I'm curious to get your opinion since you're fucking playing in this series. Right here at the end, right? At the first round, in Tuscan control, it's 8-5 life advantage, and Chance made a comment saying, this is the one time where I think a team shouldn't have stacked because you guys end up trying to stack the point here. And he thinks because that there's still time on the clock, and they don't have any lives left, that maybe pushing up and playing kills was the better play because of the life advantage. What do you guys think? What do you guys all think about that? Because I heard Chance talking about it.
It's just, in my opinion, stacking is like stacking's very weird on this map in particular because of the nades. So, either we fought it.
But how many people have gotten grenade kills other than like that one? I think Kenny got it. I think recently.
Yeah. When he hooked
it over. I don't.
It's not.
I really don't.
If you clear out L, you should stack like every time. And and all you have to do is you hug the left side of the point. If you hug the right side of the point towards the staircase, you're gonna get naded. If you hug the wall, left side of the point, they will overshoot their nades because there's no way they can get an angle to the point where that hits unless it's like super lucky.
I feel like if we're stacking too as well. well. I should if we're stacking, it should be a 4 stack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it should-
agree.
yeah,
Everybody
there's no
should be
point.
on that bitch.
Yeah.
Like you either die.
Pretty fast too.
Nah, I know, but like you either die with your team or you don't. You know, what's the point in 3 people stacking? They all die, and then you're just left on your ones. Like you're gonna lose the round anyway. So
Yeah.
It depends.
There's no
I mean,
point.
if you have 3 guys on it and then you got a guy in like a power position, like say somebody was in the green window or some shit, like I don't mind. At least 3, minimum 3.
yeah.
If
The
you're
only
gonna stack a
place that
point.
might be usable is the balcony looking towards like T.
I mean, I lost
But-
us this game anyway. So
You
Top
said you
green
lost
is-
this. How'd you lose it? What did you do that you think you
My-
cost?
the whole route, the whole play from when I was top church, I was useless for legit like a minute.
Well, sometimes people they get into maybe you blacked out, Trey. Maybe you blacked out.
No,
a
I
little
didn't
bit.
black out. I didn't. I said to my team, I wish I did. There's just, sometimes you just got to take accountability for when you fuck up.
I don't have the
100%.
stats for how often you guys are on defense versus offense in the round 5 of controls, but you do have the worst record in the league in control round 5s. You're 4-8, so
Oh yeah, we're dog shit.
30% roughly.
Yeah, we are awful.
Do you feel like you guys are on offense the majority of those? I mean, here obviously you're on defense, but
Offense, defense, we lose it.
okay. So either way,
It's just something we're gonna have to work on. Like that whole like we win this if I don't play like a moron.
Yeah. Just you sitting there. I guess maybe if you would have got up
No,
there
like
and kind of held the cross
even
with
before
him
this,
or
Tom.
worked it with
Even
him.
before this, Tom, when we get 3 kills, I sit top church. We know the last guy's green. I said to my team after, like, do you want me to just push him?
Yeah.
Or like, do you want me to push him next time? There's like, yeah, like your play isn't bad at all, but you just done nothing. And then
Yeah.
I sat ramp, and then they just stacked point, and
Yeah. No, 100%. I feel I feel like right there, like Florida didn't even do anything special. They just kind of flooded through front and got the kills.
like, that's what I said to him.
Trey's
Like,
team just played 3, or Trey's team just played 3 before, and
oh yeah, no, I was kill whoring, 100%.
Also, bro, I wanna go to this London listening with you guys because this shit was so comedy. I don't know what it was, Trey, but you asked Nasty. You were like, "Yo, chow for me," and then he chowed it. You were just sitting in the corner, fucking reloading or some shit.
No,
and
because there was a nade. There was a nade.
but just the way it looked was fucking
This was when I was on
hilarious, bro.
streaks, right?
Yeah, we're about to watch it right now, so we'll tune in and then we'll give our thoughts right after. But let's go into the listening with the London Royal Ravens and see how the boys were sounded during this one.
Kill him, give me 2 seconds. Weak is weak, Joey. Push me, comms is really fucking weak.
That was the guy on our spawn, Trey.
Nice, Joey.
I'm here.
Be close to me, comms.
I'm
Spawn in front.
happy.
I'm
hiding in the corner outside of the field.
Joey, turn around, watch your back, Joey, turn around, I got this.
Yeah.
We can wait here for a second if you want.
I'll play it quick, you have 2 minutes.
Stand back, tank.
Naded. I'm standing outside maps, you wait. Nothing outside maps, I'm channeling up on stairs.
One more please, comms. You got a flash?
He's on the low, heady. Low stairs, heady. I'm needing that low stairs, heady.
I watch your pinch. I watch your comms.
Cross surface, right, can we come stairs, I'm checking it.
I got comms pinch.
Wait, run back towards Pat. Close right.
Both channeling it, they're both channeling it. Might push around, Marcus.
Got one. One more stop, awakening.
We're up live, so.
I'm hiding. I'm staying up live. Comms guys
Go
until
back,
streaks.
no matter, we've got fucking time.
flash one outside map.
Use our nades, come right.
Comms weak, dead. I'm on a streak. Comms run around. Comms run down on steps. Can you chow?
Yeah, I can.
Oh wait, I can't.
Wait, you want to fly?
Dude, that just looks so
Run
trolly,
up,
bro.
I'm on a plus.
I'm on a
It
streak.
looks so funny to me.
Yo, Byron, my bad.
Nice. Baited. We use the streak.
Time, close.
Yeah,
that's on me, bro.
What
do you want me to do?
We'll pause it there. But that was fucking hilarious, Trey. That was
Listen, bro. Like,
The way
no,
he
end of the
runs out
day,
the
yeah,
door
like,
was-
right.
Hey, he's got
End of
trust
the
in you,
day,
Trey. He's got
he
trust in you, bro.
trusted you full stop, dude.
That's a good thing.
Full stop.
That's a good
No,
thing,
just
bro.
like-
What's out the door, dude? What the
No,
fuck?
like when I said bait for me, when I said chow for me, I was thinking like, fuck, like that's a shit chow. Like what am I gonna fly out the fucking door with you? Like no. So I saw him fly off, and I was like, fuck it, I'm sitting in this corner.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you're one off streaks. He just went nuts. But it's good to know that he was decisive with that shit.
Oh no,
you know?
he'll never let me down.
Yeah,
that's
bro.
my boy Weasley. He'll never let me
That's a
down.
good teammate to have. But listen, Florida, they end up storming through Platte and just working trades. Really nothing too crazy. London setup might have been a little iffy. You heard Trey say it himself. We'll see. Take a look at the final scoreboard. I mean, London, they did a good job in the slaying department. You guys outslayed them in this one. Everybody.
Oh yeah, no, I was full out killer in here, Tom. That's on me.
Big Wake is the only one positive, and he's only positive one for the Florida Mutineers. So maybe London, they threw that one away. Maybe they felt like they should have had it. It should have been a 3-0.
My coach just texted me, Pat. He said choked 6 round 5 Ds.
Damn,
Jesus
that's
Christ,
a lot.
bro.
That is a
Oh
lot.
yeah, no, it's foul.
I mean, shit. He's either way, bro. Honestly, if I'm Dom, if I'm seeing teams give me the exact map set I want, I'm trading that any day of the week, bro. I will take my best 2 hard points for choking every control in the world. That is.
Are we gonna get any credit though, Pat?
Sure, Trey. Yeah. But I want to give you credit when like the team doesn't just say, "Hey, here's your best maps, guys,"
and then you
Best
win
of
them
luck in
both.
the series. Yeah, every time. Like, bro, honestly, it's just pissing me off. Like, dude.
I mean, end of the day,
my career. Not once in my career did I ever go into a series with allowing the other team to have both their best maps. Not
if they want to run it on Gav,
time.
they can run it on Gav, Pat. But it's just gonna be the same problem.
Bro, they got 3 ARs. They at least will have a chance.
Nah, not against my boys.
And check this out, man.
They're 2-6 on Berlin, by the way.
Pat, what do you
2-6.
think about this? Two Reels 4 and 14 right now, but look at the time. Look at the hill time. He's got 1:30 in the hill. Nobody on his team has more than 10 seconds. This guy's the only guy jumping into hills, bro.
I mean, shit. If I'm dropping a 0.76, I'd probably hop in a hill too, Tom.
Yeah,
like,
bro. I mean, what else you gonna do?
He went neg 30 something in this series, 0.6. Like, yeah, get in the hill.
They're going against their own team's logic. I remember Dave, at least when Dave was on the team, Dave would say, if somebody on the team has all the hill time, they're playing wrong. So they must be playing wrong.
Yeah, they are definitely playing wrong, man. It's just it doesn't. And listen, this hard point was a little bit closer than the first one, thank God. But I mean, London dominated this one as well. Bro, honestly, London just outslayed the fuck out of him. Look at this. Trey's 14 and 8, Nasty 20 and 13, 16 and 8 from Gizmo. He's 20 and 6 in the first map.
Let me read you their overalls. Afro plus 13, Zero plus 16, Nasty plus 11, Gizmo plus 30. That's in the series. All 4
30?
positive. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Joey had a great.
Joey fried. Joey fried.
on that.
For sure.
On the flip side, all of Florida are negative. Skies 0.9, Wake 0.9, 2 Real 0.6, Major Maniac 0.7. Like, dude, at this point, Florida's got to realize that whatever they're trying to do is not working, even solely for the fact that every sub they pick up is just getting world starred. Like, you cannot be statistically okay on this team on Florida if you're a sub player, because they just have no help. There is literally zero help for sub players on this roster, and they continuously make roster changes that enforces that. I don't know what game they feel like they're playing versus other people, but like, bro, you need some fucking MP40s on the team.
Especially when like you almost get, like, granted this isn't reassurance that you'd like because this is a negative thing. It's almost reassurance because you see Vivid on Breach and he is playing really good, when on the other team he wasn't playing good. So you gotta see there is something just inherently wrong with your team, like the way it's structured or built, or like the game plan. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, obviously we can sit there and say it's just, you know, them not having the subs or whatever, but like it's kind of obvious when you see the guy playing good off your team.
I want to see a Beezy on this roster, bro. I feel like he would get cooked.
Yeah, he'd lose fucking full playing on this roster probably. He'd probably lose his fucking shit. But listen, let's get into the next one, man. We can take a look at the final scoreboard. 23 and 13 from Gizmo. Good plays out of him. He was absolutely fine today.
He had a great day.
Great day, dude. And then a
Every
nasty
great day
30
from
and 20.
everyone.
Everybody, dude, Trey, honestly, your whole team has just, as a unit, has just been moving differently, man. As a fucking
very
unit,
proud of
man.
him. We were getting, as you could tell, we got smoked in scrims by Paris. You know.
How did that? Who showed that? Did Donnie pulled it up on stream or some shit?
Yeah.
Hey, what are you gonna do,
And then
Trey? What are you gonna do?
no, everyone was saying like, "Oh, is this the London we're getting back? Like, you guys suck." And then
Yeah, there you go.
know,
You come out when it matters.
scrims good. Everyone knows out there. Well, every pro, ex-pro, and
you
how
know what it is with
scrims
scrims too. Is sometimes teams are focusing on certain things. Like, they're not even focusing so much on winning. They might be focusing on, you know, maybe focusing on breaking, right? Like, what if you're focusing on breaking one day? You're like, all right, dude, we need to learn how to break, right?
I mean, there'd be times where we give up full 60s just to try something.
Yeah, right. But like, teams do that. Like, if teams want to work on something, they don't give a fuck about winning practice. Like, they'll fucking set things up to try and work on their game. But we'll get into the next one, man. Good win out of you guys, Trey, once again.
Nah, it's a pleasure. I will love you and leave you all. I just wanted
yes, sir, man. Thanks
I
for
just wanted to say
hopping
hi
on,
to
Trey.
Pat because he always bets against me, apparently.
That's not right. That's not right.
Somebody go back and clip it. I literally said, Trey, I'm gonna pick against you, but if they give you your best maps again, it's void. I said that.
Hey,
You can't avoid everything, Pat.
Bro, you gotta work to win. You gotta work to win the series.
It's not my fault.
It's definitely not
Obviously.
Trey's fault. Trey's sitting there like, listen, I don't give a fuck. And I'll play whatever. I don't know
Me
what.
either.
But you can't give credit to like LeBron.
I can
dunking
only
a
shoot on
fucking
the
high
match they give
schooler.
me, Pat. I'm just shooting very good.
Hey, I
Listen,
give it
man,
to
you can't
Trey.
give props to fucking LeBron dunking on a high schooler. That's what it's looking like out there right now.
Damn, that's
Jesus.
hey, bro. Florida's getting disrespected, man. You know.
As they should, Tom. We talked about
Bro,
that.
we talked about them the entire year. We literally
Alright, listen,
told them every
I
year.
agree.
Get a
Listen, I'm
second
gone.
sub player. Get
All
a
right,
second
Trey,
sub
but yo,
player.
Trey, thanks for
And
hopping
they don't
on,
pick
bro.
up-
I'm
and they
gone
don't
before the
pick up a
conversation
second
goes
sub
crazy.
player. What the fuck is the point?
Later, Trey.
I'm gonna love
later,
you all
bro.
and leave you.
Love you, Trey boy. Thanks for coming on, man. You the man.
No problem.
You the fucking man. Hey, yeah, I agree with you, Chris. I agree with you. I don't know what the hell's going
Bro,
on. in
and
Florida
you
camp.
the thing that what happens to Florida every time is like they win a series against a good team or they win a competitive series, whatever, and then they're like, yeah, man. This is what we want. This is what we needed.
it's
and then
working.
after
We're just
that,
not
they just
consistent.
get fucking fried. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
You're not wrong, man.
dude.
You're not wrong, but we'll get into the next one. We got OpTic Texas going up against the Paris Legion. Illy is back in the starting roster for OpTic, man. We got a Boat Cage, Hardpoint, Tuscan S&D, Tuscan Control, Berlin Hardpoint, Boat Cage S&D. Looks like OpTic got rid of what? Tuscan Hardpoint. Paris got rid of Gav on the hardpoint. S&D, Paris got rid of Berlin. OpTic Desert Siege. And then for the control, OpTic got rid of Gav. And Paris got rid of Berlin. What do you guys think about the vetoes?
Hey, bro, I know like this is like Illy's comeback. This is great, but like, bro, they're playing against Paris,
I was
man.
gonna
Like,
say, you voiding it? I still think Illy looked good,
no, I'm not
though.
voiding it. Like, they're gonna be good. Like, OpTic's gonna be good. OpTic is good. OpTic is not a bad team. They've always been one of the better teams.
Listen,
Granted their performance, but like, we really gotta talk about this series. We're just gonna say Shotzi fried map 1 and 2. Wow, Illy looks really good.
Wait,
He
hold on.
does,
I
to be
wanna say
frank. He does
something.
look good. He
wanna
was
say
moving
something.
different today. Go ahead.
So Illy played well, and I'm glad he did, and I'm glad he's back and feeling good. But at the same time, this was kind of concerning for me a little bit. Paris is ass. We know that. We've already addressed that. And I think, Chris, that was your point of like, why are we even paying
They
attention to
look
this
better
series?
with Johnny, but like, who cares?
But dude, they lost a Tuscan Control again, and it wasn't like it was very convincing for Paris. And what we talked about with OpTic all year long, like, dude, they have to stay consistent in control because of how important that is to their team. When they lose those series or those maps versus good teams, they tend to lose the series. And for me, yeah, Illy played well, but on the top of that, these hard points were close too. Like, they weren't massive blowout. Like, they weren't what Ravens just did to Florida. And I think, Florida is a much better team than Paris. So yeah, it's Illy's first game back. I expect him to win the series, but I don't know. A little bit concerning for me because I don't think they look as good as I would expect them to look. That's just my opinion.
Do you agree with that, Chris? Do you agree with what Pat just said?
Yeah, I mean, like we've already talked about it with OpTic, and just they were at their dominant point. They were winning their controls, and that's what kind of kept them going in series. It was that swing game mode because you could always rely on this team to be really good at search and destroy, and still really competitive in the hard points. So I mean, I guess it's concerning, but like at the end of the day, like, who cares? Like, it's Paris. Like, I get it's concerning, but like OpTic is probably going into the series like, oh, let's just like fry these guys. Like, who cares? Like, this match doesn't really matter to them. It's more so just like, oh, let's get back into the groove of things. We have Illy back on the roster, and that's fucking helping like a player like Shotzi like the most. Like, he was like, I'm not gonna say that he was playing bad, but he wasn't playing up to Shotzi standards when Prolu was on the team, was he? He wasn't.
No.
No,
Now, I mean, granted, they're
definitely
playing-
think the pace
He had
is
moments. He
different.
had moments.
He had moments, but like what I'm saying is with Prolu off the team and Illy back on the roster, this guy comes out and makes a statement. Granted, it's against Paris. Like, he just starts frying in the first two maps, and then Illy obviously also comes in the later half of the series and starts frying too. So I mean, good series out of the two youngins, the two Zio duo. That's kind of like that was their like formula when they won Major 1 was them two. Like, just frying. Like, you already know what you're going to get out of Dashy. Scump's been playing pretty good too. But like, them two frying is what like propelled them to win. They look good, but it's Paris. So at the end of the day,
you take it for whatever. I mean, they are playing Paris, but I mean, I also do think there's positives to take away from the day. I mean, you have Illy,
no, 100%. Like,
you have
good for
Illy-
them. It's
You
it's
have
just
Illy coming
it's a
back.
confidence boost.
You have
It's a
Illy coming
confidence
back.
boost.
Yeah, it's confidence boost. I just think one thing that they just point out is I think Illy just makes people around him better. I think just looking at it from an eye test point of view, Illy just makes people around him better, and I think he brings an energy and like calms to the team that they needed, man. Like, Illy's he's an X factor for that, man. And I think the team hurts without him in the roster, personally. I think Ender is super important, and I think he brings a lot of different intangibles to the roster. So I think a positive to take from today was that, hey, you brought Ellie back, and they look pretty good. And listen, Paris might have 20 points, man, but, you know, they're not playing a pub here, playing Paris. You know, these guys shoot straight. It's not like they're fucking terrible players. Paris just hasn't putting it together at all as a team.
I mean, when you literally have one of their star players like tweeting about how he doesn't want to play, like he's just like, this is not good for my mental health, blah blah. I'm not like, obviously I feel bad for Don, like he's a good friend of mine, but like the other day when you're looking at that on the reverse side, like what else do you expect from a match?
Yeah, and then
I'm not saying OpTic isn't good or anything. I'm just saying like they're gonna win that series. They're gonna look good. At the end of the day, I'm just like, if anything. You shouldn't, like, as an OpTic fan, you shouldn't be celebrating that they beat Paris. You should be celebrating that you got like your IGL back. Like, thank God. Now you like can actually focus up, go into champs, and see what you can, like, you see your full potential. You know what I mean?
There was also some other controversy. Dashy was tweeting a little bit about the servers. Let's go into the listening with OpTic, and then when we come back, I want to talk about Dashy's tweet and get you guys' thoughts. So let's see how OpTic Texas was comment in the boat cage hard point.
Keep going. Hey, Andrew, Brendan.
Yeah, I'm playing my life bottom bar.
Water.
One shot. I'm going back left. I'm playing my life bottom bar right now.
Be small. Yo, small little weak, Jimbo. He's still side small.
We're not missing anyone back. He's dead. One more time. Good shot. I'm picking up left. Wait, small get weak, Johnny. Small get weak, Johnny. Can we get that? I'll peek left. One guy's plan on me. Flag on me. He's gonna go left now.
What's the time? I'm point.
Yo, Johnny was small. Just keep saying left here, guys. Get these shots.
You need to left here. Yo, what's on front hut?
I'm holding the back. I'm holding the back. I'm holding the back.
One shot and front hut, absolute.
Top barn as well. Top barn as well. Top barn.
Back barn on the green barrels right here.
Johnny, weak on the barrels. Nice, get down.
He's back here both.
Still there.
No,
we spawned out. Back here, barrels. I'm on right.
Jack or water spot, guys.
Okay, I'm trying to stay left, guys.
I can get point. Top barn, absolute. Top barn, back check.
I'm pushing out back check.
Yo, Donnie was, what's his name?
Yo, Donnie dead. The back check, gravity. He's in back door right now.
I'm back door. I had
close there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, spawned here. They're spawning bottom. Yo, big door, Jimbo. Big door, Jimbo. Really hurt.
Water spawns, water heavy, guys.
Yeah, we're spawning it up. Bottom, Jimbo.
Sit on top. I'm back.
Yo, Sun right now. Smolder gravity, one shot.
I don't see him. You went back door. You went there.
Nice shit. I'm cutting water. Jimbo water. First guy.
Go.
I'm going.
Who's on you? Where's the barn?
On me close right now.
Listen, let's go right here. We should go around left there. Take shots.
Big door dead. One more, like, I'm one shot dead. Nice, two. You can pop it right here. Yeah. Take your time right here, guys. Take your time. Yeah, I'm ironing top for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna look you got.
Yeah, top up.
Yeah, go for it. We have to.
Yo,
when he steps to 1 point.
One's gate.
Yo, 3 all in house. What they plot.
I'm gonna mute it there. Interesting streak usage from Shotzi on the P3 right there. I think Shotzi was just shitting on him this bad that he just wanted to get rid of that shit and just fucking use it. I didn't like the streak, but whatever. They were shitting on him. They were doing what they had to do. They sounded good in listening as well. It's good to hear Ender's voice back in there, just because, like I said, I think he's an X factor when it comes to comms and when it comes to being a good teammate. So I definitely think there was positives to take out of this W today. Did you guys see Dashy's tweet about the servers? He tweeted out that the servers are an absolute joke. That's what he tweeted. And this was after the series. So I wonder what kind of servers they were playing on today.
I don't know if that makes sense. Almost everybody in this lobby is in like Florida, are they not? Or not Florida. In Texas, are they not?
No.
Jimbo's in Toronto. Jimbo's in Toronto.
Just Donnie.
Yeah, I thought of Jimbo. Wait, really? Just where's Tom Gravity at?
Unless they unless he moved,
too.
unless they moved, like
I know
he is
not
in
there.
He's in New York. What are you doing, dude? Chill. All right, sorry, my brother. Anyways, what I was gonna say was Tom is in New York. Johnny should be somewhere in like Jersey area, and then what was the other one? Dottie's in Texas, and Jimbo should. I don't know if Jimbo's still in
Canada. I thought.
But like
we knew that. Yeah, we always knew that, but I don't know.
Actually, no. Donnie is in Atlanta. No, you're right. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at chat. Donnie is in Atlanta.
When did he move?
Like
he was
they're
in
spread.
Texas, like not long ago, was he not?
No, he moved after he wasn't on or after like this year or the last year. Like he hasn't been there in a while.
Yeah, so what do you think kind of server they were playing on today? Maybe they were playing on the fucking bullshit. Like we don't know what we're playing on. Listen, I doubt it.
Wait, hold on. I doubt it though. Even then, like it would be a central based server.
I mean, we have no. Listen, if Brucey's tweeting that, then they.
Well, I mean, this is probably the first time that they were off a Texas server. So I mean, shit.
There's no way they're getting Texas servers every match unless they're playing a team in Texas.
But think about who they play.
But then it's even. I mean, if they're playing a team all in Texas, it's the same shit.
Majority of the time, it's a Texas server with like inflated ping when they're playing like an LA-based team or a team that doesn't make sense. That's literally what's been happening all year long and been the big complaint. All of Seattle's in Texas, all of LAG's in Texas, all of New York's in Texas.
Something in the middle. I thought they were using something in the middle, and then they were inflating pings.
When all 8 players are there, it's the same. And there's like
it was an Ohio host per gravity.
Teams? There's 5 teams that are all in Texas, so they're on it a majority of the time.
I wish they made public what they were playing on and what the pings were.
Which ones? Yeah.
I just wish that we got to see pings and servers and all this shit. I think it would be a cool little touch to the CDL to kind of give us a little, a little insight on kind of what's going on.
Check it out, shit.
Yeah. But I don't know. A lot of people are saying Ohio. A lot of people are saying Ohio host, Pat. That's what people are saying.
There's a different server every day, bro.
They're used to Texas and they play Ohio. Shit, might be why.
I don't know, man. Hey, listen, get a Len in the chat. We need more fucking servers, bro. Like,
there's a different server every day that I hear about. It's like sometimes you're playing on Dallas inflated ping. Sometimes you're playing on fucking Denver. Sometimes you're playing on Ohio. Like,
so, Pat, you said this map was closed. This shit was not closed. They are fucking shitting. Look at 30 and 20. Shotzzy 31, 25. Scum 37, 25.
Is pretty close, Tom.
Not on Bocage, and they're shitting on him in a slate.
That's not like a blowout. That's not like a blowout.
Look at the scoreboard.
Not on Bocage.
Comfortable. They were comfortable. They were shitting on him the whole map. They were fucking pooping on him.
I don't know. That ain't, dude. If I win a game like another team has 180, I didn't just poop on them. Like that's a decent game.
All I'm saying is,
I swear any team can get 180 points on Bocage.
Yeah, it's a fucking running around.
They broke 200, man. They got 200.
Jimbo's 23 and 36. Donnie's negative. Johnny's 28 and 38.
It had to go to time. It had to go to time. They couldn't beat
That's because OpTic was kill whoring.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They were the worst team in the league.
It's the perfect team to kill whore against, man. You get your stats up a little
stat
bit.
Stat pad. We see what happens when they go to land. Upset, top six.
What do you guys think about Paris? We'll go into the second map. We'll talk about it a little bit. But what do you guys think is going on with Paris? They're clearly still trying to get dubs.
They suck, Tom.
Yeah, of course they're trying. They're paying to try. Get the org out of the fucking CDL, bro. Please.
What do you mean? What do I think, Tom? They suck. There is nothing. They just suck. They weren't able to get the talent at all. They're paying bare minimums. No players want to go there. The players that are there have to force themselves to go there because it's the only opportunity for them to play in the league.
Yeah.
Other players turn down the chance to go there because they know what it means. We've went over the past history of every single player that's went through the Paris camp. Mm-hmm. They're either no longer competing. Actually, I think they're all basically no longer competing except Kismet.
So individually, they're not bad players though. They just as a team.
Bro, you get put in a cycle where you're dead last in the league year after year. Yeah, your stats get smoked. Everything goes wrong.
I feel like they're in a cycle for sure.
Kismet said the org nearly killed his career. Almost had the 9-to-5 going.
Yeah, dude. And listen, the Bulldog is absolutely thriving now. We'll get there when we get to the New York series. But I mean, I agree. I think individually, I like the players on Paris. Just as a team, they just can't put it together.
Management overhaul, bro.
They need a management overhaul, and especially like you said, Pat, this year is just a cycle, man. Now they're in a cycle.
It's been a cycle the entire CDL. There's no hope, and it's not even a shot at the players because we already know some of these players might thrive in other scenarios. But at the end of the day, you literally sign over your career to that fucking team. And
you're telling me Don wouldn't be fine on another team?
Wait, Don would be more than fine. That guy's the MVP caliber in this game.
Bro, no bullshit. John is probably happy he got dropped. His stock couldn't keep getting obliterated. He doesn't got to play Vanguard. Like
he's fucking at it. He's
playing challengers, so that's just not true. At least he was.
Is he playing challengers? I don't know what he's doing.
I believe he was. I don't remember if he still is.
He should play. I mean, if he still wants to play,
challengers ends like next week, right?
Challengers ends for most teams because the whole shitty qualifying system for the champs it ends after Boston for most people.
Listen, Johnny got to a pretty good start in the S&D. He started off with a bang. He was 6-3 going into this one. Nobody on his team having more than 1 kill. That's gonna be Tom Gravity. So Johnny just trying to pull through for these guys. So it's cool to see him kind of making some noise and doing what he does. But again, it's just they're in a cycle, and this 3-2 round is where Shotzzy just kind of puts him to fucking bed here. He makes an insane play. Look at the aggression from Shotzzy right off the rip. He's gonna jump into and he's going to get aggressive here. It's actually Illy who finds the first blood, but Shotzzy makes an absolute play here. And it's just the way he's able to get kills and change his position so fast. He's really, really hard to track, man. And even here, I like how he plays by himself and just kind of slips through the cracks. And is able to find some kills here. So good plays out of Shotzzy. He was able to break them down. Good first blood from Ender. Shotzzy just kind of roams the map here and kind of cleans them all up. After this round, again, it wasn't even close. Felt like OpTic was just kind of running all over him. But after this 3-2 round right here, I knew it was chalked. Really big plays. And you know how I knew it was chalked? Because look at the reactions from Paris here. Look, Shotzzy, he slides in. He's going to flank Donnie. Shotzzy dips and moves into a spot super quick where Johnny can't even track him. And then look at the reaction from Paris. They just all lean back in their chairs. They just all seem deflated, man. And I just felt like that round fucking killed them. But what are you going to do? They get shit on the S&D as well. It wasn't really into the control where we saw some life coming in from Paris. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough. Shotzzy, he's going to drop the streak in the 4-2 round. Scumps run all over him. He looked good today as well. So, you know, OpTic, pretty comfortable win from them in the S&D. Nothing too crazy. We could take a look at the final scoreboard, see who was popping off, see who wasn't. 10-3 from Shotzzy. Everybody positive from OpTic, so everybody doing their thing. Jimbo with a donut, Tom with a Betty on, you know, 2-6 from Donnie. The whole team is just not meshing right now. Johnny was the only one who was positive, trying to get it going. So Paris, they find themselves down 0-2 in the series. And then that's when we go over to the Tuscan control, and this is where OpTic, they end up dropping a map here. And Pat, is this what you mean by concerning? You don't think they should be dropping maps at Paris?
Yeah, I mean, well, to Paris definitely, but control too, Tom. I mean, we were talking about when they started this season off strong, man. They were like 19-2 or something, 19-1 or something crazy in control overall. And then recently, I mean, going back to Major 3, obviously Major 4 now, like they're losing controls, and to me that's concerning because I think this team of all teams really relies on winning this game mode to kind of feel confident in a series. And when and we've looked at every team that's ever, you know, beat them, majority of the time at least, they beat them on control. So it is concerning to me to see them drop control still, and also to drop control against the worst team in the league.
Mm-hmm. I'm not really too concerned about it. Like it does look bad on the stats, but bro, it's control on Vanguard and on top of it, like they were really good at it, but like wasn't there stat where teams got progressively worse and worse at like winning offenses on this map? Like right. That's not this map, but just in general. I think like in control total.
But that's something that I think I'm kind of highlighting here, Chris. Is that's what's concerning to me. Like
it's going to be more of an even game
worse
mode.
And worse, right? As teams gets worse and worse, the team who was best at it and their current record in control right now is 14-5. 25-6. That's their Tuscan record, 14-5. They're 25-6. So I mean, they started off like I think they got up to 21-2. So they're 4-4 in their last ones. That's the concerning part to me. Just if you want OpTic to win, if they can't win their controls, when they don't, they lose the series.
Basically saying the game is just going to get so even to the point where they can't just rely on winning it, thus making series a lot more difficult for them to win.
Yeah, this is a big round for Paris right here. This was the round that pretty much let them win the map. It was the first round. They get into an offense, and Tom Gravity, you could just see him 3 kills in a kill feed. And even Tom, like I don't even think Tom's been doing that bad. Like Tom and Donnie had probably been the most consistent for the most part on Paris. But
none of these players are bad outside of like I guess Jimbo had some bad performances, but even on land he looked okay at times. But
Jimbo actually looked good on land, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. It's like he just didn't look bad. It's like they're just playing with people. They're just throwing together a pickup team every fucking event and trying to make it work. They're just picking up whoever they can and trying to create a system, and it's not working. It's not like none of these guys are. They're not picking up superstars. They're picking up capable players. Like sure, these guys could be good players on their teams. They could thrive on their teams, but they're not superstars. They're not 1 in a million talents, right? So they're just putting them in such shit situations. Like this Paris management needs to just get the fuck out because they cheap out on every decision they make, like to a absurd degree. That's just harming players. Like sure, it's giving some of these up and coming players opportunities because it just goes down the line of who's desperate enough to get into the fucking league. But it's way more harming than it is. Like it's been 3 fucking years where I'm just like, oh, Paris is playing. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like it sucks. It fucking sucks. Get them out.
Agreed. And then we take a look at the final scoreboard. I mean, Johnny 28-18. He had a fantastic map. Tom Gravity 26-14. So those guys just popped the fuck off. Shout out to Tom and Johnny. They were able to take one on the board from OpTic. But then we get into the last map, and Chris, I agree with everything you just said, by the way. This Paris team is just a fucking joke. And I don't even know how it's going to work next. What are they, Vegas Legion now?
It doesn't matter. Same fucking management, I'm pretty sure.
Is it the same management? Are you sure about that?
I mean, I hope not, but it's, dude.
I don't know if it's the same management or not. I don't know. Pat, do you know anything about that? Do you know if that Vegas spot is the same management?
I think it's the same people.
Okay,
bro, if it is, these guys
it's just a relocation.
If it is, these guys are at the point where they're just like, fuck, we couldn't, generate, any fans from Paris. Let's just try a different state, or different, not state, but like different place, and hope maybe we can get some people to rally behind the brand. Because, like, bro, you gotta think, even the Paris people, you're not a fan of Paris. They don't even got a fucking French person on the roster. They had opportunity to.
Yeah.
Like, bro, what are you doing over there?
I don't know. They're doing absolutely nothing. They're smoking some good shit over there. I'll tell you that.
You know what they are doing, though? Smoking OpTic and Control.
Yeah, Pat, one map. And then we get into the Berlin Hardpoint.
Yeah.
Honestly, it wasn't that far off. In the beginning, it was very back and forth. Paris was actually holding on to this one. We go into the second P2. This is kind of where OpTic was able to lock down some time. But once again, it was a pretty mixy hold. OpTic was able to kind of build their lead a little bit. Paris kind of get in the last 20 seconds here. Not 20, but 10, 15 seconds. So we're able to get scrap and hold this rotation here. Right here is where Paris can actually do something. They get scrapped. They stop the bleeding from OpTic. They bring it a little bit closer, and they hold rotation. So they gotta chain some of these hills together. But they don't hold it for shit. Again, this P3 hill, it's just people just can't hold this hill. I don't know what it is. It always comes from the street. And it looks like it's going to start with number 1, Dashy, right? Just finding a kill on Tom. And I think Tom spawned right there. Did he spawn back there? Where the hell did Tom just spawn? So Tom's going to go down to Scrub. He spawns right back there. Look how fucking deep he spawned. And then Dashy's just going to kind of spawn kill him. Tom's going to go down. So Tom's probably going through it. Once Tom dies street, last guy there is going to be Johnny. He goes down as well. Dashy putting in some shots from range. OpTic just kind of storming through street. Anything you would have done differently there if you were Paris, Chris, or Pat in the setup?
I mean, Tom had some time to react because he actually got in the gunfight, and he just needed to stay down and use number 6 to his advantage. But besides that, no, I mean, if you go street and you just don't win a fight when you're technically in the more advantageous position, yeah, you're going to lose hill. You're chalk.
I would have liked to see them play some crossfires. Maybe stay down,
exactly.
make OpTic come to you and work off each other. Let them make the play. You have the rotation. You have the power position. Make them have to do something. And take advantage of that. But they kind of overchow a little bit. They kind of just hold their lanes and they go down, and that opens up the street. And you can see what that did to the lead, right? OpTic, they were just able to storm a steamroll through the rest of this shit. I don't know why I keep doing that. It's just like that. Paris, again, they keep it close. They get some time here or there, but I really do feel like that was the biggest factor. And, third P1, Illy goes massive, man. He goes fucking insane. Illy played fantastic. Scump had a fucking crazy map in this one. He's 20-18 going into the end of it. But it was the last P1. Paris, they bring it back a little bit, just kind of picking up loose time in the P4 and P5. And then it was Illy who made the play going into that last P1 hill. And I'll show it on the screen right now. Ender, he's going to find 2 kills here at New. He's bouncing around trying to stay alive. He already finds 3. Ender taking rotation by himself. And these are the plays that Illy makes. This is what he brings to the table. He's always a step ahead. He gets there early, finds the kills, and he keeps the streak going, man. He's going to take down Johnny. He's going to jump on back, and look at this. Takes down another one, pulls out that pistol, boom. This guy sitting on a 6 spree. This guy, Illy, pretty much called game on the series. Overall, any final thoughts on the series, gentlemen? I thought it was a positive to take from Illy, or from OpTic, and the guys say, I know they're playing Paris. I get it. They're playing Paris, whatever. They came in, a W is a W. They got the dub. I think Illy looked good. I don't give a fuck what's on the scoreboard. Just watching him, the routes he's taking, the way he's challenging gunfights, I think he looks good. I think he's playing like himself, and I thought it was a pretty comfortable win. Maybe on the scoreboard, it might look a little bit closer, but if you actually watched it, it just seemed like OpTic was just fucking blendering them and just shitting on them. For me, good job. Good win from OpTic today. I think it's a good little boost for them, maybe a good little momentum boost, and they can come back and use that momentum and come out and take down a team that's going to give them a little bit more.
New York, Tom.
Yeah, what scares me. Listen, bro, that New York team, man, and we're going to get to it. Let's just look at the scoreboard real quick before we hop into the New York series. 24-22 from Donnie, but everybody negative. Tom Gravity trying to help him out, but just wasn't enough from the Paris boys. On the other side, OpTic, man, they were slaying out 29-16 from Illy. Love to see that from the kid coming back, man. 33 and 21 from Scump. He had a fantastic map. Only one negative was Shotzi. Dashi went 27 and 19. Really good plays coming out of OpTic. Let's tune into the interview with Illy, and then we'll hop in to the next match and talk about New York, because those guys are turning some heads for sure. Let's tune in and see what Illy had to say.
Up, baby. Oh, my question to you is, did you learn a lot watching your team play without you? And if so, what's the thing or two you picked up on that helped your team get better?
Oh, I've learned a lot because I was just like still sitting there in scrims, even when I wasn't playing, just to make sure I'm caught up like with the meta and make sure I'm not missing out. So when I'm back, I can get right back into it. And I realized a lot. I realized where we struggle and then where we thrive. Yeah, I've learned a lot, and I definitely let them know because it's a different perspective.
Okay.
Well, Illy, congratulations on the win. It's nice to see you back, man. We missed you in the CDL. Coming back, you had a big performance in that game 4. You guys take it in a 3-1 fashion. For you guys, what's the expectation throughout this stage? Is it very much of like we're trying to catch up, get this practice in? Is the focus more on champs, or are you guys out here really like thinking you can win this championship at stage 4?
Hey man, we're just trying to get better every single day. We're just trying to improve. The goal is champs. We're here to take what's ours, so we're just gonna keep getting better every single day. And yeah.
Hey yo, Illy, you already know the deal for this last part, man. The floor is yours. Say what's up to the green wall, the fam, everybody out there.
Hey man, appreciate all the support for real. What I went through was definitely like probably the hardest thing I went through in my life, just because I couldn't do what I've always done. And the green wall support and my family support throughout that was actually like insane, and I needed it the most, especially my family. Like, I love ZooMaa for real. Like, they actually helped me through this a lot, and just the green wall as well, man. You guys always supporting.
Yo, Illy, man, we love you. Congrats on the win today, and we hope to have a lot more of these interviews soon, man. Take care, all right? Keep the dubs coming.
Appreciate
It's a good interview for Illy, man. Good to see him back, man. Good to see him back. Good win for OpTic. They'll be back tomorrow, I believe. They play tomorrow, right? I think they play tomorrow.
Yeah, New York.
Oh, yeah, that's what we were saying. Yeah, they play New York tomorrow.
I was just looking. I know Veli had mentioned on the desk, but Paris haven't won since March 25th.
Damn!
Yeah, no, it's been over 100 days, right? I'm pretty sure.
How long ago March 25th was?
I think it's over 100 days, right, Pat? Is it over 100 days or something? It's
yeah.
So
bro.
3 months.
But bro, not one motherfucking series win, and you've went through.
Hey, I'd be going through it, bro. And listen, I'm not gonna lie, I feel bad for the Paris guys. One, because I don't think they're bad players, like individually. I think they are good players. And I just know that when you're on a losing team like that, which we've all been a part of that, Chris, Pat, we've all been a part of losing teams. I do feel for the guys. Mentally, it's always a bad spot to be. It always sucks to be on a team that just can't get anything going. And it's even worse when you have a franchise, an organization behind you that doesn't give a single fuck about any of that shit.
They don't have the budget to get together a team that, one, wants to play together,
Did
and
they spend
two,
their whole
stars.
budget on the spot? Did they spend their whole fucking budget
They
on
don't
getting
have a budget. They pay the minimum and just scrape by, and that shit is not going to cut it in a competitive league. If you do that, you're relying on luck. Literally, just
I just
like
don't
hoping
get
you
that,
literally.
I don't understand that. Yeah, man, let's spend $25 million for a league spot and then not give a fuck about our team and just give everybody the minimum. And it's like, what's the point of even spending all that money? What's the end goal for these fucking guys? I just from a business,
get lucky.
From a business standpoint, it sounds terrible. It sounds like they're burning fucking cash. They're burning it. You're never gonna be able to build a brand when you don't even put anything back into it. You know, so it's just, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know what they're doing. Paris, they fall. Let's get into the next one. The New York Subliners are going up against the Seattle Surge. We got Bo Cage, Hardpoint, Desert Siege, SD, Tuscan, Control, Berlin, Hardpoint, Tuscan, S&D. Pat, go ahead. What are your thoughts, man? Right off the bat, man. Right off the bat.
These guys had you fooled. They had you fooled, man. That honeymoon was crazy.
Talking about Seattle?
At Major 3. Yeah. Listen, I will say one thing.
Come on.
I will say one thing. Hold on. I got one good thing to say.
All right.
Bro, Pred has impressed me. He's kept up the level of play that he kind of showcased at Major 3, that like MVP style. So I will say that Pred, personally, individually, he has continued. And he did impress me. So that is, you know, if you're looking for a spotlight kind of comment, I would say that Pred has been a beast through and through. But other than that, yeah, man, I mean, that's to me, it's just like these guys look dominant, right? And now they're just losing back to back series.
New York looks good, man. New York looks fucking good, bro.
That's why New York's in my top 4. New York's in my top 4.
To be fair, New York did look good before the major, and I also had them in a top 4 team. Granted, they've been dealt a pretty, difficult hand with their roster situations.
These guys matched up, right? Then that winners round 1 match that could have went either way.
No, didn't they match? They matched up in losers.
Was it losers or winners?
Who did they lose to? I don't remember, dude.
There's so many. Listen, you know how many fucking bow cage, fucking hard points, and Tuscany. You know how many of these maps we've seen this year? It's so hard to remember what the hell happened. All these events, they feel like they molded together. It feels like a fucking.
Yeah, it was.
blur.
It was winners round 1, wasn't it?
It might be. I don't know. Either way. Oh no! Wait, they lost to London and Seattle. That's who they lost to, right? That's who New York lost to. London and Seattle.
Bro. I don't remember, bro. Hold on, I'm looking.
Yeah, go give it a little peek.
Yeah, they did lose. They did lose to London and Seattle. So they lost to Seattle and winners.
Yeah,
they lost to Seattle and winners, and they lost to London. But so either way,
round 1, so I was right.
Yeah, no, you were right. I was just like, I just couldn't remember. But they did listen. They lost a heartbreak in round 11 to the people that would inevitably win the championship. But they also lost to London, and not to take away anything from London with their current roster. Prior to that, they didn't look good. So, granted, these guys look really good. They did in the qualifiers before the major, and then they went to LAN and they shit the sheets, at least in the second series. First series was relatively competitive, but yeah.
That was kind of a lose full, right?
Yeah, by the way, we can't always chalk that up to lose full. They still got a whole tournament to play. So, I mean, good for New York. I'm still impressed. Obviously, bro, I still have these guys in top 4. I was good, like, damn.
Man, they're good.
When they lost the major, I was like, that's fucking unfortunate.
Yeah.
But every qualifier that they played with this new roster, and then at the pro-am, they just looked they consistently look like a top 4 team. Their hard point is fucking nuts, dude.
That's what I was gonna say, Chris. Yeah. Sorry, you could keep going, Chris. I thought you were
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I thought for me, it's the same thing. This is less about Seattle being ass, like bad things. I still think Seattle's a great team. I just think New York are fucking insane right now. I've been saying this the last 2 fucking episodes. I've been saying this. There's something about New York, man. When you watch them play, their pace. Whenever you're watching from the other team's perspective, when they're shooting against New York, every time they're shooting at one guy, there's always another guy there for the trade. There's always somebody hitting a fucking long route. They're always working together off one another. I feel like there's not a lot of people doing shit by themselves. And if they are, their individual talent is insane as well. Hydra and Paul X all of them. They're all incredible players individually, So it's like the slang power is there. I feel like the confidence is there. I just feel like they're clicking at a really good time.
Bro, Kismet or Hydra, one of them is always hitting a route.
Always, bro. Kismet,
and I'm impressed.
That's the bulldog right there,
I'm
baby.
more so impressed. I'm not Kismet. I think Kismet's always had that. He's always been a pretty good player. He's always been a ratty player. I'm more so impressed by Hydra, because Hydra coming into the league, it's just like, whoa, this guy has hella gun skill. This guy's disgusting raw talent. But now he's making the veteran plays. That is impressive. That is a high. That is. This guy
his
is
English too, Chris.
Actually gross,
his
dude.
English compared to when he first came to the States, Chris. I couldn't have a conversation with him. He couldn't talk. He talked in words, but now he's talking in sentences. And I think that's really cool to see. Not only is he putting in the work in the game, but he's also putting in the work out of the game. And listen, I think Kismet's one of those players that just makes he's one of those he's like an alien.
Makes everything easier.
He just makes everything easier around you. He's always taking a route. He's always getting in hills. He's just that guy. And he has a super go ball.
He doesn't give a fuck about his stat line.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. And it's always good whenever you have a talented player who doesn't give a fuck about his stat line. It's a good find, man. It's a good person to have on your team. Let's go into the listenings, man. We're gonna start with the New York Subliners, and then we're gonna go into Seattle Surge. They do back-to-back listenings, so let's see how the guys are commenting here in the bow cage.
Holding right now. I'm going tractor.
One's here.
Tractor Mac dead.
Hill dead. He's holding.
Nice.
I'm watching deep right.
Yo, they're going right.
Yeah.
Half top.
I'm good, Kitch.
I got no. Yo, he's my zig. 1 zig. The zig.
Nothing top.
You need help in time.
I'm coming hot.
One shot plat.
Lama.
Top dead. Lama plat. Low PT, Lamar.
Bottom hole, then.
Low PT dead.
Yo, gate, weak.
No, I got the kid P2.
He's on hut. No,
he's somewhere front hut. He didn't go on hut. My hole's open though.
I'm nading over. I'm watching choice top.
I think dead.
They come deep right. I'm looking around.
He named me deep right. Yo, left. Hold left.
Deep right.
Two gate. I'm dead from gate. There's 2 gates.
Gate dead.
Nice. One's gonna be on the left.
Nice.
We're looking for one.
No, we're good.
Shit on.
Nice, we're good. I'm going Lamar.
Let's hold. I'm gonna hold all the right, okay? I have you right. I have you, Kitch.
You could be top. I'm prima top.
One's going front door thing.
Yeah,
That's gonna do it for the New York Subliners. Now let's tune in to the Seattle Surge.
One shot.
I naded you too.
Front door down.
Nice.
Shoot that. Top bar down.
Last guy time. He's probably
cutting
bro,
spawners.
I'm cutting nice.
I need to back there. One shot. Back 10.
Nice. I have you, G.
Look for Kismet. First guy.
Yeah, I think I got him.
laying down.
He's tower ramp. I'm behind him. He's running back jungle, and one's dirt wall.
I'm gonna go back jungle.
He's gonna be back left.
They're all rotating, man.
Yeah,
Back left.
I'm giving you a big
I'm gonna fight tower heady with Dante.
Okay.
Could be Zig, Dante. Camera Zig.
Back to a Paul. Pitch in the window.
He's laying down Zig.
Pitch in the back window.
Stun, you can flank him.
I killed Zig.
Nice. I spawned back here. Paul's back here somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Nothing tools.
I stun camera. Back
Back door. Last guy time. Time it one more. Back house.
Oh, back house.
Nice, bro.
Yeah, he's not telling me. I'm fighting back house.
Sit him. I'll get in your window.
Yeah, back house again.
Oh, back house. Spunk him. Nice.
And that's gonna do it for the listenings. Any thoughts on the listenings? I thought both teams sounded pretty good. I thought they
sounded good.
They both came in with
Bro,
some energy today.
You hit it spot on though, dude. Hydra was directing traffic at the beginning of the map. At the beginning of the listening, he was like, "Yo," I'm going here. I'm going right. They're here. Like, bro, yeah. Like,
and it's also very
comms.
simple comms, very direct comms. Like, he's not flooding the comms, you know. So it's just, bro, he's impressive, man. He's an impressive kid, you know. Pat, any thoughts at all about the listenings? This was a really close map. This is kind of where New York started to chip away at this one. There was this big fucking P2 out of them. Big P2.
Yeah, I think, and obviously I know we don't give out like game balls, but if we were to give out a game ball for this map and this series, bro, I think it goes to the Bulldog. You know, he's obviously had his difference on this team in general, but dude, he is a legit difference maker. In every respawn, and it's actually crazy to see. Yeah, no, he definitely needs to start getting his flowers. I mean, I know he was on Paris first year and kind of got, you know, in that cycle, and then was in the Challenger cycle. So it's good to see him come back and have an opportunity on a team who definitely needed his, you know, the way he plays and his role on a team. And I think he's, you know, exceeding in that way more than anyone else I've seen come in the league from challengers, you know, recently, right? Like Standy's kind of the last one we think about with Cold War, but yeah, I mean, Kismet's a beast, so that's kind of just my takeaway in general. Yep.
And then this is kind of where things fall apart. So Seattle, they're able to maybe bring one back here in this P5 hill. They got hill control. They have the rotation. They have a pretty good setup. But New York just clean breaks this second P5 like it was absolutely nothing. You can see Seattle, they're kind of focusing the back, right? Like they're focusing bottom house. They're focusing the flank. But New York, they just decided to kind of flood through front. And they somehow get in here. Seattle did a good job. They end up getting a couple kills. But once Preg gets picked down the middle of the map, Seattle are still kind of focused in the back. I think it's Mac or Dante, one of them that die L in New York. They just storm through the front of this one and get the break. And that's pretty much what won them the game. I thought Seattle might have been able to take a little lead change there. But they lost the fights. And New York just kind of running through the front of the hill was able to break on in. So a pretty close map here on the first one. Pretty close. It wasn't until the very end right there where I feel like New York, that last P3 and then that last P5 break is where they kind of steamrolled away through this one. But any final thoughts on the map? The Bouquet's hard point. Take a look at the stats. Kismet, like you said, Pat, 34-20, doing what he fucking does. 27 non-traded kills, by the way, too. Jesus fucking Christ.
Look at the objective kills, Tom.
Yeah, that too. The objective kills 21 kills in the hill. And Chance was even mentioning that too on the broadcast, saying how Kismet, he's always going big in hills. Always. Every time he's popping pieces, they're impactful, you know? He doesn't get useless kills. Very good plays coming out of Mr. Kismet. On the other side, everybody negative from Seattle. So the slaying power towards the end of that game, maybe a little bit too much for the Seattle boys. Let's get into the next one, man. We get into a Desert Siege S&D. And this is honestly comfortable, man. New York's S&D has been fucking lights out, too. They ended up going 6-1 in this search and destroy. They run all over them. There's a couple plays that I can highlight. Just a couple individual plays from some of these guys. One from Hydra. And then some team plays with them just running at the competition. But this one wasn't even close. What do you think happened to Seattle in this one, in this map? Because this one went by fast, man, fast.
Honestly, just based on like Seattle's like results, at least in this qualifier, I don't even like really like. I think Seattle's just struggling in general, and this is more so just you got to tip New York. Like you're looking at two different teams. You're looking at two teams on the opposite side of the spectrum in terms of how they've been performing this entire qualifier. Looking at New York, who hasn't lost, and you're looking at Seattle, who hasn't won, right? Seattle hasn't won a single game this qualifier, or am I fried?
No, I don't think they
got
won
one today, didn't they?
Yeah, they lost today, and then
They lost to Boston. No,
for this stage, I think he's saying. For
Oh,
this stage,
yeah,
they lost.
Stage,
right,
for the
right,
stage,
right.
yeah.
They beat Paris. They beat Paris.
All right. Yeah, they haven't won a series. So
It's not
like,
right.
who cares?
It's not right at all.
I mean, come on, bro. We talk about this shit all the time. But like, seriously, you're looking at two different teams that are on two different waves right now. Like, Seattle was just struggling. I don't even know if it mattered what maps they were playing. I know Seattle and New York both have similar map pools. Like, both teams like to play Siege. Both teams like to play Bokeh. So from the two maps, like, New York just fucking took it to them, dude. Like, New York just looked different right now. They're setting pace. And honestly, bro, if I was New York, fuck this series. Like, they got to be throwing up the Pat emote to fucking London Royal Ravens. They're sucking that shit because
That's not
damn,
right.
bro.
Hey,
Like,
Chris,
New York,
come
bro,
on.
London is keeping them in the standings, bro.
Yeah, that's not right.
The emote is smoking papaya, son. He's smoking papaya.
Nah, bro.
He's
sucking
smoking
that shit,
papaya
no
in the
cap.
emo. He's smoking papaya, Chris.
But yo, seriously,
Nah, I'm on you,
New York.
Chris. Nah, I'm on you. Nah, I'm on you. Your emo is fucking motherfucker jerking too like this. Now I'm on you, son.
Man, come
now
on.
I'm on you.
No,
Play the
come on.
Haggy emo.
Hey, listen, I'm the one who put the emotes up. Maybe that was a problem. They're both looking sus, man. Fucking. But what are you going to do?
But seriously, man, New York is coming out and they're showing dominance. They're taking care of business. And, you know, London has their back, man, because they've been the gatekeepers at this point for all the teams that are like trying to get ahead and not letting them get ahead. So New York has got to definitely, you know, tip it to them because right now, like, they're their best friend.
Listen, I know I've been the one that's kind of harping on teams for their map picks. I'm really surprised to see Surge allowed Desert Siege in this series. Subliners are the #1 team in first blood percentage on Siege. It's their best statistical map by far. I think with the new roster, they've only lost it once, and it was when Hydra teammated himself. If you remember that situation.
I remember that. Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. They vetoed Bokeh. Like, New York's nothing special at Bokeh. They're 2-4. That surprised me because I think New York is a dominant Siege team, and I think it kind of fits their roster now. They got Paul sniping, that flexibility, Krim on AR, and then you got Hydra and Kiz getting mixy mid map. Like, I don't know. I don't agree with allowing this in because I think New York's really good at this map.
No, they are really good at this map, and you can kind of see how good they are at it. They're just running through them. It starts with Hydra, right? 3-1 round. He's able to get the ninja defuse, as you saw on your screen. Then the next round, they keep that momentum. They keep that aggression. They rush this B plant. They get the bomb down. They got a nice setup. They go up 5-1. And here in the last round, they just run at them. They run at them middle. They run at them street. They work some trades, and instantly 2v2 situation. You can see Seattle, they're going to get this bomb down A, but New York, they go all the way around. It's Paul X who takes a route. It's Porter who goes right through the middle of the map. I don't know how Porter saw him here. I don't know if Dante was sticking through the wall or some shit, or he saw him through a crack, but big win coming out of Porter. Then that's it. It's a 2v1 situation in favor of New York Subliners. Lamar's left by himself. If you want somebody left by themselves, it's Lamar. It's the Iceman, but there he goes. His head gets popped off. I like Paul X with the sniper too, by the way. He can snipe, man. He was hitting snipes all game. So really, really good plays coming out of Mr. Paul. We'll take a look at the final scoreboard. 8-1 from Paul. So he had a fantastic map here. Everybody else pulling their weight, and on the underside, everybody negative from Seattle Surge. Nobody able to get anything going. So we're going to keep this one going. We're going to hop in over to the control. Questionable streak usage coming in from Hydra in the control. I'm not really too sure what he was planning on doing here. I'll kind of show you guys what happened. But this one goes all the way to an overtime. Nobody was able to win in offense up until the 2-2 round, which is where Seattle was able to close one out. But let's take a look at the Hydra streak. Gentlemen, any initial thoughts on the control, on the Tuscan control? Because this was one where Seattle was able to pull through and run away with it.
I guess for me, it's Surge had the #1 attack percentage or #1 offense win percentage, and Subliners is on the opposite side of that. They're the second worst in the league on offense. So on this map, so that's kind of interesting when you look at like the stats of what map they could have played. I think letting Tuscan in was probably a mistake. I probably would have vetoed that. I know Seattle is notoriously, we talked about them being really good at Berlin. But I probably would have rolled the dice on that map if I'm the Subliners, especially with the way Kids and Hydra are playing lately. But yeah, that was kind of my takeaway, just because New York's so acid offense on this map.
I think this is the one game mode where Seattle like actually has the one up on like New York in terms of their map pool and stuff like that. So it's just a roll of the dice for New York when they play them on this, in my opinion.
So what did you guys think about the streak usage here? So you can see Pred starting to light up Paco, but Paco says, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to call it a streak. And then I guess Paul X just comes and kills Pred anyway. But look at the live count, right? New York, it's, 6 or 7 lives when he calls it. Maybe he thought they might have been able to make a play there. What do you guys think about the streak usage? You think that was...
Might have been a misclick. Is somebody in the chat on New York?
You think that was a misclick? You think that might have been a misclick right there? Maybe it was a misclick. The way it happened too, how he kind of like slid away and called it when there was a guy literally on top of him. He even shot back at him. Was a little interesting. A little bit of
somebody had to been saying streak, and he's like, "Fuck, okay, I'll streak." No, I don't know.
I don't know what happened right there. A little weird. But he ends up calling a streak. Nothing really comes out of it. And out of that, they get absolutely nothing. The streak, just a waste. This one goes all the way into an overtime. This is where Seattle were able to close it out.
Paul said, yo.
Well,
is that an intended streak?
He went rogue. He said he went rogue.
I knew it, bro. I knew it. That wasn't.
Imagine you're in a 1v1 gunfight. Somebody just pulls out an iPad in front of you. Like,
Pred ran. He ran from the. Pred ran away. He said, "I'm out." He said, "I'm out."
He was probably mind blown.
He didn't know what the fuck was happening. You could just kind of see how Seattle was kind of able to break down New York and win their offense. You see a lot of teams, right? They like to flood through front. Seattle, they take a different route. They go all the way through the left side of the map. They kind of work the back. It's going to be Pred who finds one in Church. They end up working some trades through the back. It's going to be Lamar and Mac. And then after that, they just worked the last kill plat. They're able to get onto this point. And it was just the initial fights that they were able to win. And they were able to stack on here and get the kills. So just really big plays. Seattle was doing a good job just getting on that point, stopping the clock, and helping each other, man. Working those stacks and watching whatever they need to watch from Hill. Benji Nassim, man, he was getting all pissed off watching this match. He feels like, and I actually agree with Ben, when you stack, you can still watch everything while stacking, you know?
Yeah.
Like people act like stacking is like some crazy thing or people don't want to do it, but it's like you can stack the point and have a really good setup.
Just hold an iron. Hold an iron pre-aim and get on a spot and just get onto the point. Doesn't matter where you are, just watch something and just hold, commit.
Bro,
all you gotta do.
This is off topic, bro. I have to address this, bro.
Sure.
Chris, you know when you said he pulled out an iPad or whatever when you were just using the example?
Yeah, bro, we're playing World War II, bro. I know.
Bro, no. This guy in the chat, bro, goes, "It's a phone in this game. There's no iPad in World War II." Like, bro, you knew exactly what he meant, but you still felt the need to type that. I hate people like that, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah,
like,
he's trolling, Pat. He's a fucking big old troll, though, Pat. He's a troll. He got you, Pat. He fucking got you, man.
Like, those are the people that are like, yeah, you're calling it a Hellstorm missile. It's a Predator missile. Like, bro, shut up.
Technically, that's not accurate. Like, bro.
Fuck off, man.
Hey, well, let's get into the next one. We're getting to a Berlin hardpoint. Check out the place for Mac, right? Looking under the train here. Able to get a nice 3-piece. So Mac going super big here on the P4 rotation. That's kind of gonna let Seattle bring it back in a little bit. They were kind of down. New York came out pretty fucking hot off the ripperoonie. So good plays coming out of Mac. And then as we go through to the second P1, this is kind of where New York start to kick up a little bit. They start working some breaks. A really just back and forth game here in the fourth map, and it just seemed like towards the end, New York just had the ice and Seattle didn't. Just a big flood-fested map. This map was super close. What were you guys' thoughts on the Berlin hardpoint?
So I think these are just two good teams playing against each other on two of
this was a battle.
Yeah, two of their best maps, Bokaj and Berlin. Both these teams love those maps. Yeah. Like when it comes to hardpoint, I think these two teams, like as long as they keep squaring up in tournaments, like are going to always provide, or should always provide some pretty good matches, at least on in an important tournament like setting.
So my takeaway is this is now Seattle's fourth hardpoint loss in a row. They lost 2 to Boston, now 2 to New York. I know they're playing solid teams, but like this is a team that was really successful in hardpoint at the major, and so I don't know, Tom. I don't know. I know we had this debate
they're
sometimes.
trolling, Pat, like right here.
Vanguard, baby.
You can only troll a couple times.
No. I mean, by troll, I mean they're making mistakes, right? Like right here, you see Dante number 5, right? Like Seattle have this whole lockdown, this P1. They should be able to lock this down, but they kind of they troll on the flank, right? Dante, he kind of runs through fire, and they don't hold. Where I would have just liked to see Dante just play a corner in fire so nobody can flank, you know? Just play a corner or just like play outside of fire, like right here, and just stay near your teammates. But he goes through fire. He gets picked out by Krim, who's taking the long route. Even Fat Man's taking the long routes, man. It's Porter doing the dirty work, taking the long routes, working the pinch. Really good plays coming out of Porter. And that was a clean break from New York. I thought that break was really big, and I felt like that
Paul said they didn't troll. He just rocked them.
He rocked them to the wall. I mean, listen, if you want my honest opinion, Paul, I think right here, Seattle beat you guys to the hill. They have it set up. I think as long as they hold their pinch and work the kills in the pinch, they could just flood on the hill and boom. But I'm sure you hit up. Well, I don't know how the fuck you got a 2-piece, actually. That's actually fucking insane.
You rocked him.
He just shot him through the wall. What is it? Could we get a fucking PC check or something?
Wait, where was he? Where was he?
Hold on. He was P5 and shot him through the wall. That's a common wall bang. I've seen people do that. I've seen people do that shit. Bro, do you know how annoying that must be to get wall banged like that when you're set up and Seattle's ready to go? I mean, what do you do about that? Realistically, you don't.
Honestly, there's only 2 consistencies in Vanguard, bro. And it's fucking New York not winning a map at the major, Faze placing second, and fucking, well, actually, no, that's it. That is the only consistencies in this game, bro.
Yeah,
you cannot take anything serious.
There's one more. OpTic fans getting an ego after beating Paris, bro. You can always rely on that.
Oh, man, you didn't have to go there, Pat. You didn't have to go there.
My bad.
Oh, Paris being last would have been the good third one. Good job, guys.
If you want my honest thoughts, if you're a fan of any team, you'll take every W as it comes, you know?
For sure.
Hey, a W's a W. You fucking take it, bro. You just fucking take that shit. Even as a player, man, I didn't give a fuck who the fuck we were playing. Thank you for the points, bitch. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes, man. It's how the cookie crumbles. But then this is kind of where Seattle, they started to bring it back, right? The P2 and the P3, they had a really nice chain here. See, it was a 70-point lead for New York. And somehow, some way, Seattle, they chain a couple hills together and they make this shit a game. This is when things are getting interesting. I didn't know if Seattle was going to bring this one back. And we're going to a map number 5. And then this is just kind of where it all falls apart, man. We go over to the third P1. We go into a third set of hard points. And this is where New York were just able to hold on strong. Over to the P5, right? New York and Seattle, they kind of split time on it. And Seattle was here first, and they get broken again, man. They get broken again. It starts with Dante, right? He gets tagged up here low, and Hydra kind of gets pushed up on these stairs. He doesn't see him. Paul's going to win a big one to open things up. And then again, I think the biggest kill here is the one on the pinch. Once Pred goes down to Kismet, taking the route mid-map, Kismet's able to shoot Lamar through the window. New York swarm on through, and I like New York. They take their time. Somebody's always taking a route. They always wait for each other, and they always make a play together. Really good break from the
I want to agree with you
Subliners.
and say the biggest kills the pinch, but in that scenario, no, bro. Like, the pinch guy, usually a lot of time, it's pretty isolated, right? It's usually an isolated guy. Like, he's never going to really have help unless, like, you sense the pressure coming. My take is, like, dude, what the fuck is Sib doing? Sib is just, like, out on the outskirts of the map by himself, just, like, getting nades.
No trades.
Not even trying to back up, just, like, ego challenge, like, throwing away his life. Like, you'll go back up and, like, play a spot where you can be traded or, like, where you can spot pressure, react to it, and then, like you're just playing a fucking island, just throwing your life away.
The reason why I look at the pinch as such a big kill, Chris, is because whenever the person who takes that route gets the kill, now the people in hill are scared. They're scared. Their back is open.
That's the guarantee.
You know?
That's the guarantee.
You just scare their setup,
two of
right?
those, though. Yeah, when you get both of those, that's the guarantee, 100%.
Yeah. I either way, man. Dante's he's making a meathead play. He's gonna have to clean that up, and even on the pinch, they're gonna have to start winning some ones or playing some better angles, trying to hold the pinch because, like I said, man, the other team's got to make a play when you get there early. You have the advantage if you're holding on a setup, so you just gotta pick and choose your spots and make sure you're watching the right things. But you know how it goes in Vanguard, man. Very fast-paced game, very hectic. It's a lot easier for us to say than for some of these players making decisions mid-game.
Speaking of, look at the stats in this series. Pretty crazy. So Mac had a rough one. Sorry, I was looking at the overall, Tom, not just this game. But Mac had a rough one, neg 30 on the series, and then Sib again, still kind of, not I think to his potential that he thinks he can play at. Neg 10. Fred still keeping it up though, almost the most kills in the lobby, but was topped by the Bulldog himself, plus 21, 1.26, most damage in the lobby, over 100 kills. he actually fried in this series.
This team relies on Mac. If Mac is playing well, their entire team is good. Like, because every time we've been to LAN, like, and he's been playing good, they've been having that upset potential, and hell, they won. Yeah. But when Mac is just not playing good, these guys are just nothing special most of the time. I feel like Mac enables Sib, in my opinion, like, to play well, and I think he's a big factor to his team. Bro. Well, no, if you think about it, he does play a huge role to this team because, like, you already like Lamar, he kind of just like hangs out in the back. He's not like a super impactful player in terms of his play style. And then you have Pred, who's just kind of running around going rogue. And then, like, I think Sib and Mac like feed off each other in terms of the way they play. And if one of them is struggling, the other one is just almost gonna just guaranteed to struggle every single time.
Yep. Let's get into the next one, man. We got a Boat Cage hardpoint, Berlin S&D, Tuscan Control, Berlin hardpoint, Boat Cage S&D, Atlanta Faze going up against the Los Angeles Guerrillas today. In my honest opinion, I did not think Faze looked good today, man.
Bro,
I did not think they looked good, man.
Yeah, they didn't look good. We'll go ahead and say that. But let's talk about this. What was the thing that I have been so annoyed by this LAG team? They have been playing Gav in every fucking series against every team.
Every fucking series.
Finally, we see Gav bans for both. And what did I say? I trust Slasher to play better on the Mixie maps as an AR than I trust any of their subs to play on an AR map. And
Can I go back and look at those vetoes?
Yeah, bro, they were actually really good for LAG. It's like the first time in a while. And Slasher had himself a day. He had like a 1.4. It was like vintage Slasher. It looked like an AR mismatch. Archie's had a really bad day. We had kind of talked about Archie's being so consistent as of lately, and he kind of finally had an off day. I think he tweeted that they didn't have much teamwork, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy what happens when a team gets maps that make sense for their roster.
Is this concerning, Pat, for the Atlanta Faze? You use that word.
Of course not. Listen, the reason it isn't concerning for the Atlanta Faze is because they just had an off day, right? How often are we going to see Simp neg 15 and RCD's neg 30? To me, we're never going to see that. And on the flip side, how often are we going to see Slasher with a 1.5? Like, it's been years since we've seen Austin do that. So
well, I think the subs helped elevate Austin today. I mean, Austin's job is not going to be easy.
He's playing sub maps finally.
Yeah, I think they should play maps like this because these are maps where Hook and Neptune can get comfortable, right, and kind of play their own game and just can kind of run around and do their thing. I think that was the biggest takeaway for me today. Is LAG? Hook and Neptune just had a day. They had a good day. They were playing off each other really, really well. And if they can do that on a consistent level, then maybe this LAG team can turn things around. But obviously, we'll have to take a look at the standings and stuff. Things are going to get really, really close here. But especially this first map, very, very back and forth Boat Cage hardpoint, man. This one was crazy the whole way through. It was not many teams were getting big holds on this one. I want to go into the listening with the Faze boys, and then we'll gop in and we'll give our final thoughts at the end of this one here. Actually, real quick, I want to fucking go to the end here. This is kind of where, bro, Hook went fucking crazy towards the end. Did you watch this shit? Forget the listenings, but unless you guys want to. You want to hear the listenings? You guys want to hear it?
Not really.
Specifically.
Wait, hold on.
We'll hear
real quick. Is it my like screen, my laptop, or is there like some weird like red and gray shit going on with like?
No, your laptop's fucked, brother.
Red and gray where, son?
Yeah, your laptop might be...
What the fuck? Because I'm looking at it. I pulled it up on my phone. I gotta look at my phone. Yeah, just forget it. Keep going.
We'll go into the listening with Atlanta Faze. Let's see how the boys are coming. These guys were absolutely twisted. Dude? So let's tune in.
You notice he's seeing red and gray because he's
I'm fried. I guess.
Faze,
hold on.
Baby.
I might be fried, bro.
4.
Jesus Christ. Let's go into the listening.
I might have had too much to drink. No cap.
Chill. Listen.
I'm gonna go top house, guys. Yes, top house. They're all standing streets.
Back 3, Austin, one shot.
All streets, I guess.
Absolute back Austin, one shot. He's tower. Austin's tower. Fucking what? Tower. Nice, 2 down. 2 down. Front time. That is time. We can do the full door then.
These guys are twisted.
I'll get top. Wait, weak. He just slid in the right. He's in the right. Oh, two now.
I'll see deep. I'll see deep.
Top us now.
Yep.
He might jump down behind.
50 time.
Bar, on it.
Tower 2. It's all good.
Bar Neptune.
Tower.
Okay,
there's a guy.
Come right now.
I'm here.
Yep, try. I'm going to Martin.
I'm only half you guys.
Hold on, Martin.
So this is kind of where I'm going to lower it. This is what I wanted to show. This is why I wasn't going to show the listening. But right here, this is kind of where LAG, they get a super big fucking hold here on this next P4. This is kind of where LAG was able to get a little bit more of a lead here. It's not easy to get 20, 30 points at a time on both cage. So for them to be up 30 going into this P5, which in my opinion is a pretty easy hill to break, I feel like it's very difficult to hold on this P5. Like actually good time. I thought that was a really big hold from LAG. I thought that was what kind of turned this map around, and that's kind of where LAG was able to win this one. And then on top of that, Hook, he was 17 and 20, but he closed out this game just doing some crazy shit. He was running around, and I think that's also a thing, right, with LAG. Like, they have potential to make plays. They have, even with the teams beforehand, right? Even with their other rosters, they have individual talent. They just haven't been putting it together. You guys think that Neptune and Hook can keep up this consistency of playing off each other like this? If they're taking down a team and giving Atlanta Faze, a struggle, if they keep up that consistency, keep that gas pedal down, I mean, who knows? But we just haven't seen it enough, in my opinion.
I guess we just gotta wait to see how many more gas they're put on, Tom, because
you think the veto might be a big problem, man. It might be.
I think it's a huge, bro. Look at this roster: Spart, Hook, and Neptune. I want them on the mixiest maps in the game. I don't want to see a single AR map for this roster. Like, it makes no sense. Let Slasher do what he does best, which is he knows how to play these mixy maps with an AR. He's done it his whole career. Like, to me, there's no sense in this team ever playing an AR map. And so I think that's honestly a big catalyst for them, because if not only if those two guys can keep it up, but if they can get kind of comfortable in this like just mixing environment as a team, I think that's where they would succeed. So we'll just have to see if they, if they keep playing these type of maps, Bocage, Tuscan, Berlin, that should be just on repeat for them.
Yeah, I want to say Slasher's doing the Zinni, bro, where he's just like, I'm an AR. Let's play some Let's play some.
That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. And I don't know if it was Slasher or the coaches or the roster or what, but they were playing way too many AR maps than they should have. That's a fact.
I fixed the issue with my screen, by the way. Let's go.
What color is it now? What color is it?
No, it was weird. So my screen was almost like cut, like it was double. Like for some reason, Tommy's fucking the flank, like the subs was like red and gray. Yeah, and then I went to my
this guy's off the shit, bro.
No, I went to
He's got Faze Major 4, and I tip it. I went
to my NVIDIA control panel. I turned the FPS limit off, and then I also did something else, and it worked. So.
Damn, this guy just knows what the fuck he's doing.
I'm smart, man.
You are smart. Honestly, whenever I have problems with tech shit, I'm always hitting up Chris. Chris, remember when I was setting shit up in Dallas and I was FaceTiming you and shit?
Dude. You were zooming in your camera onto like the PC and I'm like, what the fuck is that, dude?
Bro, I was losing full, man. I was losing fucking full, bro. Look at Austin in the chat. You see what Austin in the chat said? He said, people actually think I like playing Gav. Laugh my ass off. Y'all are comedy.
Austin, who the fuck on your team likes playing Gav then, son?
Yeah, because you play way too fucking much.
Because the subs are putting up 0.7s when you play Gav. If you don't like it, I know they don't like it. So who is saying play Gav? Call them out. I need names.
He said there's 2 AR maps and 2 sub maps. Bro, Berlin is a kind of an AR map, but like
it's a mixy map.
It's still mixy, bro. All the hills are hills for the most part, besides one, are like indoors.
I need names, bro. Stop the cap. I need names. Who is wanting to play Gav if you're not? Give me names.
And then listen, while Austin gives you some names, he said for sure. That's all he's got. He said it's a mixy map. I mean, it is a mixy map. I mean, I personally think Berlin is very fucking cracked out, bro. You got people taking long routes all the time. Every map has random ass corners and there's hella breakable fucking walls and shit. I mean, Austin, I know it's a very basic comment, but
Austin said Berlin bad side is hella mixy. Are you telling me you don't like playing Berlin hardpoint because there's a bad side to it?
Bro, any hills with a room is mixy. Gava2 is literally all just open areas. Like, that is literally
you just hold lanes. Yeah, you just hold lanes on Gav.
Once you're at least hitting routes and like sliding in, like it's mixy.
Yeah, once you close initial gap to the point, like it's mixy. Like Gava2 is always just lane, like the entire time.
Wait, listen. I don't even care about this. I need names, bro. Who is wanting to play Gav? Wait, you said it wasn't you, and I want to believe that. So give me names. And if you say Hook, Spart, or Neptune, you're lying because I know they don't want to play Gav. There's no way.
Slasher, I agree with that. We're not. Listen, bro. We're honestly over exaggerating, bro. We don't say like, yo, don't play Muchu, only play Berlin, Tuscan, and we're over exaggerating. But we're just saying like, hey, bro, there's no surprise that you look good on a map where you're taking on the harder role. Like there's just the people on the show just have more trust in your gameplay, you're veteran, you're like the fact that you're a fucking champion, we know what you're capable of, that you can adjust and play the harder role on these more difficult maps, as opposed to somebody that's technically a rookie playing in a a potentially less comfortable environment. Like you as a veteran should and always will take the hardest route, the hardest role, because that is like, I don't know.
Also
That's
said,
just the way you do.
we
That's the way you do
could probably
things.
continue this tomorrow. Also said he'll probably hop on maybe tomorrow after the match, so maybe we could continue this another time.
Come with some names.
Let's get into the fucking SD. Listen, the round before this, the 2v1 round, this is kind of the game changer for me. Simp, he's able to clutch the 1v2. Really good plays here. He ends up finding one, and I don't know how he stayed alive here. I don't know how he was able to dip and dive. Spart was trying to catch up to him, and Simp just makes a really good heads-up play with the pistol, going to turn around, and big 1v2 from him. One thing that did not slide today from Faze was their S&D. Their S&D has been unbelievable. What is their record?
It's not just today, dude. It's this whole stage. I don't think they've lost one.
Yeah, they have been fucking insane at search.
Right? They haven't lost one in Major 4 yet, I don't think.
And even their retakes, right? Like right here, LAG, they're trying to get this B bomb down, and in Faze, they get a big first blood off the rip, and even when the bomb goes down, they just do such a good job working together and working some retakes. They hit some wall bangs, they get some trades. Number 2, he's gonna go on a little wrong route. That's gonna be Simp, and you can kind of see how they're able to just kind of break down the setup. Slasher might have lost full here. He's got Simp tagged in a corner. He gets randomly stunned from across the map. Simp closes the door on him. I mean, I'd lose fucking full. Really good teamwork coming out of the Faze boys on the retake. So good plays there, and you can kind of see.
That's a legit strategy to throw stuns at your teammates, because in this game they can't actually get stunned. So if somebody's pushing your teammates,
I learned that in the beginning of the year.
That shit is fucking terrible.
That's so
it's
stupid, bro.
crazy that you can't team stun. Bro, we used to team EMP and motherfuckers would lose there. Bro, do you know EMPs last 13 seconds? That's off topic, but in BO2 they lasted 13 seconds.
That's a lot of time,
dude. Hold on. How do we go backwards?
13 seconds is a lot of fucking time, bro.
How do we go backwards? In BO4, do you guys remember when that midnight team, like with Envoy and Llama, all of those guys were hella good?
Yeah.
Bro, Envoy used to literally made his career start off throwing stuns at his feet because you couldn't stun yourself at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, no, I remember.
J-Cap was
so
good in AW because you could do it in the air.
Then they patched it. And they made it so you could stun your teammates. And then in this game, you can just throw stuns at anyone, at anything, as long as what is this?
Bro, and I can tell you that is the easiest thing to change, by the way. Trust me, that is the easiest thing to change. But anyway, as you brought that up, I wanted to roast Cap, because Cap used to fucking blow up stuns in midair. He literally made his AW career off the ability to fucking blow up stuns.
I remember he used to piss me off, bro.
Cap. Dude, it was he was the best at it.
He
And
used
it was
to
so
fucking
annoying.
piss me off with that shit, bro. He always did that shit. He just threw every stun at you, bro. He started that shit too. Everybody started doing that shit eventually.
We figured it out. Sledgehammer Games, they got the most OP stuns.
Yeah, bro. And then you can kind of see what happened here. Fucking Abizi, somehow, some way, just fucking staying alive. This guy just made an absolute play. He gets the guy rushing him on site, and he gets kind of cornered on bomb, and with Sim putting in some shots to help him out, he's able to find a 2-piece to close this one out. Take a look at the scoreboard. 10-7 from Abizi. He had a fantastic map. Everybody else negative from Faze. On the other side, 12-5 from Slasher. So Thanos trying to do everything he can here. Slasher's been doing his fucking thing, man. He's been playing well. Pat,
This series,
recently I feel like Slash has been playing better.
He still has struggles, but like he's not. If anything, he's not like an issue as to why this team is underperforming, in my opinion.
I mean,
I think that's why the whole time when we were kind of talking about this, when Slasher was underperforming something, he was the one player who I wouldn't drop, right? Like on this roster, because I think he can have series like this. There's obviously elements to go into that, but I think, you know, of anyone that I trust the most to have series like this and be able to just, you know, beat the best team in the game in a series, dropping a 1.4, whatever he had, he's capable of it. So that's kind of the reason that
100p.
And then we go into the control, and speaking of Slasher, it was the 1-1 round, right? We're in the third round. Hook was able to pick up some streaks. He was having a fantastic map. He was running all over the place, picking up PCs 20 and 13 here after that streak comes down. Slasher, he just ends up making an insane play. He's able to get that van. It starts with all the guys running through mid and running through front, right? They do the church jump up. Every team does this. They do the church jump up, then they play through P5. They work some trades, and it's going to start with Spart. He opens it up. Neptune's going to get aggressive. That's going to open up the gap, and Spart, right, finds 3. Really big plays coming out of Spart. And then to back him up, you have Slasher. There's 1, there's 2. Slasher's going to throw a little pre-nade downer. I don't know what the hell happened here, but the truck just blew the fuck up is what happened. So Slasher finds 2, picks up the 3rd, and just 5 kills in 10 seconds there from Austin.
And like what they're doing, how like Neptune's hugging that wall and Austin's also taking that side angle. Like people don't throw nades at that pocket. They throw nades at the statue.
I don't think they can.
And they can't. No, you can throw them from like where Austin is now, but like you would look like a fucking moron throwing it there. Like if you were like the person spectating, and you look like a god if you killed somebody. But like where Neptune is, you can't hit a nade there. They're gonna have to start
comment. Like teams are gonna have to start comment with their nading. Like yo, I'm nading back right of statue or some shit. Like that'll be some like fucking OD shit. If they were, do you think people would actually be commenting that? I mean, I feel like that's a good thing to comment if you're commenting what you're nading, but you gotta be, you gotta make sure you're hitting that shit. You gotta make sure you're hitting that shit though. You know what I'm saying?
If you got 4 nades, like 2 should be going somewhere. That
you remember, right, exactly. You have to use your nades the right way. You have to calm your nades. But go ahead, Pat.
Do you remember World War II on Arden's Forest? Whatever that hill was that had like it was like P2, I think, where it had like the ramp.
P2 was,
yeah, you had to sink your nades, right? Because then you had to hit 2 nades. So like you would either nade the back steps, especially in the surge, like nade the back steps or the top part.
Somebody said, why wouldn't you calm your nades? That's not what I mean. I don't mean it just basic calm your nades. Everybody's like, yo, I'm nading this, I'm nading that. I'm just saying instead of being I'm nading hill, right? Yeah, he's calming his nade, right? I'm nading hill. But where on hill, right? You take it to a whole nother next level and maybe
there's just a level of coordination that some people can take it to, but it's about executing it quickly because COD is a game of seconds. Yeah. So every second that you take to like, let's say line up a nade properly, like it could benefit you, but if those nades do not like do anything, that time you spent perfectly lining up and coordinating the nade with said players is just gonna bite you in the fucking ass.
You could have been like pushed up 10 more steps in a corner or some shit.
It's hard.
Somebody slipping, or it throws your timings off or you gotta wait for somebody to time the nade, or you might have a gap that you can hit, but you also want to throw. You also might not be able to hit it. You don't know if it's gonna work or not. You want to throw this fucking grenade real quick with your teammate.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like
situational.
It's like somebody has to take initiative and be like, a BZ nade this with me, and then the other 2 nade the other, and like they should just know. Like that's probably the fastest way you can calm it, but like it's so hard to do because of how fast the game is.
Yeah,
if you can get to that level, dude, that's
what I'm saying. Really it's hard if teams start setting that up. In World War II, I felt like it was easier, Pat, to set it up just because the game was a little bit more slowed down. In this game, because you just come off spawn and you're right back into the fucking mix right away. Like it's just hard, man. Like it's hard to do some of that shit.
World War II had no respawn time, if I remember correctly, so that I think probably contributed to it, but also maps were smaller, and on top of that it also depends on like the design of the hill. On a hill like, for example, Arden's Force P2, if you didn't hit your nades, you were fucked. In this game, if you don't hit your nades, you're still not fucked, it's just harder. Like but in that game, bro, if you didn't get a nade kill, you're not breaking that hill.
Yeah.
You guys remember how hard that was to break if y'all didn't get an opening?
Yeah, you're
chalked. You're just getting mowed. It was actually impossible. Once the other team put the controller down.
Can you pause it real quick on this? Yeah, I'm actually confused at why Faze played Berlin. So I was looking more into it. So Faze on Berlin are 2 and 4. It's by far their worst hard point. Bocage, they're 11 and 5. Gav 11 and 6. Tuscan 11 and 7. And Guerrillas are 10 and 3 on Berlin. It's by far their best hard point. And for some reason, Faze banned Tuscan hardpoint in this series. And when looking at it, I really think, knowing that Faze is auto-locked first seed, basically, and where Guerrillas are, I think Faze are testing their map pool by playing Bocage.
They do that a lot. They do that a lot.
Because when you really look into this pick was the dumbest pick they could have possibly made, and not banning it. And I think, knowing replays, they're really trying to expand their map pool, and they were using this series to do that. Because bro, in what world would you pick the one map that Guerrillas are 10 and 3 on in hardpoint and you're 2 and 4 on?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And they could have easily banned Tuscan they could have easily let Tuscan in and banned Berlin because they're 11-7 on it. It's one of their better maps anyway. We know this. When they lose it, it's always come down to the wire. So I think they were expanding their map pool for sure. So obviously it was a good one for Guerrillas, but something to keep in mind here because the more we talk about it, and we obviously know how good Faze is, like who's kind of on that brink of not qualifying? It's New York, right? And we all know how good New York really is. And if New York doesn't get in, that's good for every single top team because if they did get in, they'd come in as probably an 8 seed regardless.
You don't need to worry about them.
Yeah, they would be playing them round 1. So, you know, them not making it is a great situation for all these top teams. So yeah, just a little caveat there for this series. I don't want to take anything away from the Guerrillas, but I do think FaZe were expanding their map pool.
Well, maybe. I mean, who knows what the fuck?
No, definitely. There's no shot in a million years. Those guys are intelligent. Their vetoes are always usually really good. There's no shot they were going to allow Guerrillas to get their best map on their worst map. It's 100% they were expanding their map pool.
Well, yeah, and then going into the Berlin Hardpoint, this is kind of where LAG was able to take the series. And again, just big maps from Hook and Neptune. I thought they played well. Slasher, even Spart was doing this thing. They just look good as a team today. I mean, even with LAG, that's always been their problems. Like, it's not individual talent. They just, as a unit, what's the formula for these guys? Like, how is it going to work? Yeah, but Vanguard, you can't just say Vanguard.
I know, it's just a meme at this point.
Yeah, it is a fucking meme. I mean, the game sucks.
Vanguard, anytime something crazy happens, Vanguard,
I mean, we saw somebody get fucking missiled through a wall yesterday. You know, it is.
Wait, that's unacceptable. Different topic.
You know, but at the very end of this game, this is kind of where things got interesting. We go into the second P4, and this is kind of where LAG was able to lock down a little bit of time. They start building onto their lead a little bit. They did a really good job just constantly building their lead and making sure that FaZe don't get close to them. Let's go into the listening and see how the guys are coming. I also want to take a look at the standings after this and do some predictions for tomorrow. So let's hop on in and see how the guys sound.
One got cell. One shot P5. Back P2 door. I hear you. 100%. I think he might.
Chase me. On the top tank, on fire tank. Top left hold. Easy on time, back to time. One shot. Front P2 or something.
I don't want top 3. Wait, one guy.
P5 and one top P2. Top P2.
One shot here.
Take your time.
One shot as fuck.
Take your time. I'm trying to P this guy.
I'm waiting for you guys.
Same backside time. On the right side time, Kyler.
Hey, got me. It's all good.
Take your time. One shot. Last stairs. Last stairs. I need two black stairs. One shot. We gotta take our time to get out of this.
I hit him with the nade on time, guys.
Someone tried to take her out, right?
One of you guys did. I'm going around that.
This guy P1 win, bro. He jumped out like. He's on time. Left side time. P1 side time. He's behind it. And P1.
Simp is clutch steps.
I hear you. Get this guy full, bro. I'm trying to. I'm nading time. Give me the fire tank. One over to BZ. One shot. RC is fire. I one shot roll. Yeah.
I'm gonna lower it here as it's about to end, but just FaZe just get them funneled. I mean, LAG had such a good lead, and how often do you see a team get a full 60 like that on P5 of Berlin? Not an easy hill to lock down. Really good hold out of FaZe, and this is where I think FaZe can actually take the lead and kind of run with it. But they end up getting broken here. It starts with a BZ. Sorry about the volume right there. It starts with a BZ, right? He's going to be in that little glitch spot, and he's going to get taken down. Neptune, he opens it up. Really big plays coming out of him. I felt like this might have been a hill that maybe FaZe should hold here. What do you guys think? The LAG make a really good play. It starts with Neptune just kind of opening things up, and a BZ, he goes rogue. He just runs at him. He goes down. Simp ends up getting picked, and LAG do a really good job just sticking together and playing off one another. They just kind of roll right through that hard point. And that kind of gives them a little bump going into the P2 that they were just able to get some scrap and close this one out.
It's always the first bloods on the hill, dude. It's always just the first blood in any scenario, game-changing scenario. It's like the team to give away the first blood, like especially on the defensive end. The defense is always traditionally known as like the advantageous, point of the map, side, hill, whatever. If you're on the defensive end where they have to come to you and you don't get one, like sometimes it might be unfortunate, but you technically just scam. Like
I mean, Chris, think about it. How many times in your career, and Tom, you too, did you guys either hear or say don't get picked,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
on the
yeah.
opposite side, big first kill. Like
Yeah,
that
all
is
the
literally
time.
all that matters when
everything.
you're breaking or defending a hill. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
everything.
That's literally COD in like any scenario for the most part ever.
Right, yeah, and hardpoint for sure. But for the that's actually what pissed me off in this next hill, because Faze got the first pick, and then after they get this scrap time on the second hill, they obviously re-break this, get the scrap time, but they got the first pick when it rotates, and they played so slow. I didn't get it at all. They literally they obviously Guerrilla spawn, got control of the hill. Faze got the first pick, and then they just kind of like slow played the fuck out of it.
So
And
BZ gets one here. That's gonna be a slasher, and then they're kind of.
They're all L triggering.
Yeah,
like,
they were definitely holding some L's, some L triggers, and trying to fucking. Maybe they just thought people were gonna move when somebody died.
I guess.
I mean, MC has an AR on the left. I would have liked to see MC get a little bit more aggressive here. Nobody's roof, just hit it right. He probably would have caught Sparks slipping too. As soon as the BZ gets that kill, that's when MC should just make the fucking move. Boom, just slide it.
Kill the guy? No, they killed the guy back there. Like they killed Austin, who was the roof player. So why is Cell thinking they're gonna be roof?
Yeah,
I don't know if there was like a miscomm, or maybe he didn't say where he got that kill, because it looked like Cell was looking for someone on roof who was already dead.
But honestly, Cell shouldn't be the bro. We said this already before. If your player street dies, or if a person's street dies, whether it's on the offensive or defensive end, your likeliness to actually break this hill is literally like it's just so much less. Like you're just not breaking it.
Yeah,
he shouldn't be the person to engage. Other people should every single time.
But if you back it up, they were slow playing. Like the people who were mid map, if you look, like they literally were just like either bot walking, or I think people call it TP walking now. And they weren't. They should just be sprinting, bro. Like just straight sprinting to break this.
Yeah,
get up top, something. And they slow played it. Obviously, Guerrillas got the kill and won the game. But
I agree. A good play overall from LAG too, because Faze get back in there, and it was Slasher, right? He opened things up. He just played great today, man. Really good series out of him. He finds 2. That's gonna open things up for LAG, and just like that, LAG, they take down Atlanta Faze. Not many people expected it, and just like that, LAG will take a look at the final scoreboard. Neptune 30 and 24, 29 and 23 from Austin. Everybody's pulling their weight, doing what they got to do on the other side from Faze. It's everybody's negative, but MC. You don't see it very often, especially when they're playing a team that's at the bottom of the standings. Well, not the bottom. They're like what? Like, middle to the bottom, over there, like 7th, 8th. Where's LAG right now? Let's take a look at the standings, man. Let's see where they're at.
Thanos.
Some of these, dude, these series are gonna start getting really close, man. These are about to be nuts, especially with the points. Let me just find the timestamp real quick. Tomorrow's matches. Who's fucking on the borderline? Seattle's in 3rd, right?
Seattle is not on the borderline. The
borderline. No, not Seattle. I'm not saying Seattle's in 3rd. I'm saying, right? Like, I'm pretty sure. Laser 4. Did they show the score? Did they show the standings today? I don't think they showed the standings.
They might not have. They usually tweet them though, and you can go to the website. It'll show them.
Yeah, I'll just go to the website. We'll take a look at the web. But let's look at tomorrow's matches, man. We'll forget about the standings for now.
I didn't even tweet them.
Yeah, they didn't even. That's weird, right? They usually show the standings every day. It was kind of throwing me off a little bit. But it's all good. No standings today. We can take a look on the website after we do some predictions real quick. We got Boston going up against LAG. So that's going to be a big one for the standings. We'll take a look at the standings after predictions. I'll go to the website.
Reddit, apparently.
But Boston against LAG, we got Thieves versus Paris. Thieves are definitely going to have to grab that win just to get some points on the board. And then we got a big one tomorrow. We got OpTic Texas. They're going to be tested a little bit, right? Got Illy coming back. They're going to be playing a better team. And you got New York that need these points bad. We'll go through predictions. I personally, after today, I'll go LAG. LAG over Boston after today. I thought they look good today. See if they can carry it for tomorrow. LA Thieves, I'm going to go over Paris. Sorry, Paris. Just not looking too hot here. And then I'm personally, because I think New York really needs these points right now. I think New York is unreal right now, man. I think they really need these points. I think they're going to be coming out with the fucking fire tomorrow. This is literally their season on the line. I'm going to go with New York. But, gentlemen, we'll start with you, Chris, and then we'll go with you, Pat. Who do you guys think is going to win tomorrow?
I got the Breach just because they've been playing pretty good this stage. Although they had that series versus the Thieves, that's a series apparently they've struggled with this entire time. I know they've been complaining about server issues, whatever. They've just struggled with that series. But besides that, they've been able to take out some pretty tough competition in this stage. So I'm going to go with them. For the second series, I got... Fuck, you just pulled it away and I blacked out.
Thieves Paris.
Oh, I got Thieves. And then for the last series, I've been rooting for New York to make the Cinderella run, but I do think it could be a really close game, but I got New York for that one. So those are my predictions.
For the first one, the Boston Guerrillas, I think that's a weird one, bro. That's the battle of who doesn't want to play Gav. So I guess we'll see who folds first and either doesn't veto or picks it. I think today, you know, Guerrillas played well. They haven't had that consistency though. And I think, you know, Vivid's really done well at beating all of his past teams so far. So I'm going to go with Boston. Obviously Thieves smoke Paris, and then I got New York as well. I think they're going to do this run, this 5-0 in the stage, and we'll see how it ends up at the major.
Yeah, this is going to be crazy. So we can take a look at the standings here. Thieves are on the cusp right now, man. That LAG Boston is going to be a big match tomorrow, just because they're 6 and 7, right? Like they're right there. So those points are going to mean a lot. Yeah, added safety for sure. Thieves, man, they got to start watching their back. They can't take Paris lightly here, man. You saw them tweet out that they're here to ruin some seasons. And
a Paris win versus Thieves really helps New York. Like, really, if New York can win tomorrow and Paris upset Thieves, that is massive for them.
That's what major is going to be. This major is going to be crazy, bro.
Major is going to be everything. I can't wait for the New York major. That's going to be fucking crazy. So excited for all that, man. That's going to do it for today. We got through all the matches, really good matches today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, man. We're closing in on 100,000 subs, man. We're closing in. So keep hitting that sub button, or if you haven't already, hit that sub button. Thank you guys so much. Go to anchor.fm/theflank to check out all the audio sites that are on. And go check us out on Twitter at The Flank. Gersh doing a phenomenal job running socials over there. Thank you guys for watching all day today, both in the watch party and the show. And we'll be back live tomorrow, man, doing it all over again, because as always, man, the grind continues. Take care, brush your hair, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, guys. Good night.
Later.